Gentlemen, the Keigleys are among us.
Among us.
Yeah. Well, but that's right. The annual The Game Awards, our industry's mega December event to celebrate the best of the last 12 months. This decided on by a voting panel of media outlets and players like you and me. 2023 has been quite the year in the consumer end of things, far less so internally, say if you're a developer.
Mm-hmm.
There are 32 categories. However, we will be omitting our bets for the esports stuff, just the main ones for today. We should also explain that this is going to be a split recording. This means the second half will be dedicated to covering the show itself, their announcement trailers and overly long acceptance speeches and whatnot. I initially wrote fingers crossed for a GTA 6 reveal, but except then they posted that is actually coming on Tuesday now, Tuesday morning. Give me a reason to wake up early. And this isn't designed to interfere with Hot Button's own deliberations either. This is just a quickie to hold you all over since the ceremony has gotten this huge, so try and keep the guessing and discussion short and sweet. Save the larger discourse for later.
Yeah, and it's been a hell of a year. So,
yeah.
As evidenced in the past, our Game of the Year stuff is going to be probably pretty lengthy.
This is set to be Geoff's 10th go-around. So, happy birthday to the VGAs. Even when it was on Spike? No, it was, I think...
Pre-Spike.
Yeah.
No, they were the VGAs on Spike and the Game Awards on not Spike, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
That started in 2014.
Okay.
So...
Man,
yeah.
Spike.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a hell of a channel.
Yeah.
TV for men,
you mean
finally.
The new TNN, yeah.
Finally, we have
back
television.
The man show.
Yeah.
It's perfect time.
I'm sick and tired of all these lady TV shows.
Yeah.
Shut up, hole. I'm watching my show.
The Burback video, and they're talking about like what their like objective was there, and then it's just like, it's a marginalized audience for television.
White men,
young white straight men.
Bring back Guy Code.
Yep.
That said, let's get into it. I'm Randall Beatrice here with Austin Blakesley.
Yo.
And Sean Chambers.
Who's ready for the sexiest night in video games?
We've got tons of nominees. These of which were unveiled on November 13th. Let's start with writing. And we're going to do what we did before and tackle the two biggies at the end, Oscar style. So, best narrative, or for outstanding storytelling and narrative development in a game. Easy to define.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
We don't have to leave this in. Are we doing the same thing we've done in the past where we do prediction and personal pick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And you can leave that in.
Okay.
People know where we're at.
Yeah.
Sorry, I should have made that more clear.
Little
at
inside
the beginning.
baseball.
Yeah,
no, that's okay. I didn't realize
behind the scenes.
I didn't realize we used to do that until I looked at this list and I was like, I know what I think will win, and I don't agree.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true.
No, there's 5 here. Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Cyberpunk 2077, Phantom Liberty, Final Fantasy 16, and Marvel Spider-Man 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that Cyberpunk is back on here after 3 years. So when they say Phantom Liberty, do they just mean that, or do they mean the whole?
I assume they just mean Phantom Liberty. It is like a 15-hour campaign. So
Yeah, but
wait, a campaign within a campaign?
yes.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it
it's
takes
like
place.
a dome within a dome.
Yeah, it takes place at a completely new map that is separate from Night City. It's connected to Night City, but it's a new area.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm going to judge based
Like Iron and Wine.
off of that, since you knew that you've played all of these.
I started Phantom Liberty. I haven't beaten it. I've beaten the other 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've only played one of these. I don't know if I'm inclined to pick that as my personal
You can
choice. I have a lot of issues with Alan Wake 2, but I still think
feel free to pick nothing as your personal pick too.
no, that's just because you want to win.
No, your personal
to pick.
pick.
Yeah.
No, you have to predict. I'm just saying
Yeah.
for your personal choice, your heart pick. You can just say nothing, or pick one of these that sounds cooler than Alan Wake.
I'll just say Alan Wake 2 because of its moments. But
Okay.
Personal?
no, yeah. My actual bet is Baldur's Gate 3.
Betting man. They're definitely a betting man.
I would be more. I mean, of just the things I have, delved into this year. I would maybe say Oxenfree 2 or Mortal Kombat 1. No, they're on here, but
I'll go next.
Yeah.
Not to make it vanilla and short, but my personal would be Alan Wake 2, and my
Okay.
pick is Baldur's Gate 3.
All right.
That everybody's still dressing up like these characters. Everybody's still writing fanfics. You know, I haven't heard all the greatest stuff about Final Fantasy. And, you know, good job, Spider-Man. I don't know.
Yeah. Austin, you going to shake things up, or are you with us?
Okay, my personal pick is Baldur's Gate, and my prediction is also Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
There's no...
watch Alan Wake win, and we all feel like it's possible.
People are... Like, here's the thing. You say you haven't heard great things about Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
That would be that's a close second.
Oh, really?
That's a close second, and Spider-Man is a close third. Alan Wake is weird, but
it's unwieldy.
It's not,
no,
in terms of narrative, Baldur's Gate is so much better. Although
I have a lot more to say about Alan Wake's.
Yeah, the problem with Baldur's Gate is that I think people the reason I predict it. No, it has a problem, and it's people are gonna be mad at me, but it's D&D. Like, it's based so heavily on D&D lore that it, to me, as somebody who actively does not like Dungeons and Dragons, I still really enjoyed it, which is why it's also my personal pick.
Mm-hmm.
But the writing just feels like a book I bought for D&D.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas, like, yes, Alan Wake feels like in the Mouth of Madness. But, you know, and Final Fantasy...
John Carpenter's residual.
The thing I'll say...
Game of Thrones?
Yes, but the thing I'll say about Final Fantasy is that it is neither... It is Game of Thrones-ified Final Fantasy, but it's not too far in either camp for me to fault it for that. Because it's not enough like Final Fantasy to be derivative of that, and it's not enough like Game of Thrones to be derivative of that.
Real quick, how does Spider-Man's story compare to other Spider-Man stories?
I would not forgive myself if I were to say all of that about Baldur's Gate and Dungeons and Dragons and not say that about Spider-Man, because it is Spider-Man and it is heavily based on the comics. It is very well written from a dialogue perspective, but the story is just...
I didn't get... I guess even like halfway through on Spider-Man, but they made D&D sexy. So
yeah, they did.
They're doing something right.
I had a lot of sex in that game.
Yeah. I want to have sex with a bear.
Mm-hmm.
So now it's another favorite of mine. Best art direction, or for outstanding creative and/or technical achievement in artistic design and animation. We have Alan Wake 2, Hi-Fi Rush, Lies of P, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Legend of Zelda: Nuts and Bolts. Right?
Yeah.
So,
okay. Yeah. I'll give you that.
That's I'm just gonna make fun of it. I should specify, like, this isn't gonna be my most like poised description of this stuff because I don't have any notes in front of me today. It's all off the cuff.
Look at you.
So,
we like you vulnerable.
I'm gonna go first because I'm excited about it. Far and away is Hi-Fi Rush. I think that game is drop dead gorgeous. The character designs are brilliant, and the way the world animates and the transitions from cutscene to gameplay, it's genuinely like some of the best looking material of that style I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So,
it almost
but
seems like
that's
it's
your personal pick,
yes,
or is that your prediction? You got to predict.
My bet is Alan Wake 2.
Okay.
I think. And I don't know why I'm saying that's so sad. Alan Wake's 2's aesthetic is like Remedy is always.
No, yeah,
like,
it's great.
Yeah. It's like I think it's just I maybe I look at Hi-Fi Rush as more of an underdog, which they're both from big publishers, so not really. But and there's also going to be a bit of recency bias. Hi-Fi Rush was a while ago.
Yes.
But yeah, I want to see them get it, though. I would take them more in the next two categories than necessarily this one. But I don't know. What do you think?
So, while I agree with what you said about Hi-Fi Rush,
it seems like it's inspired a bit by like Into the Spider-Verse with the different frame rates and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Which I think something about capturing that story or that the environments in Lies of P and like kind of distorting it, kind of turning it on its head, making it scary, making it Bloodborne-esque,
Yeah. So gothy.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I don't know if that's enough because I don't feel strongly either which way. I think I'm pretty torn. It's like Hi-Fi Rush, Alan Wake, and Lies of P for me.
I would not be sad at all if any of those won. And especially Alan Wake, it's like because they're using so much mixed media. There's FMV and there's
Right, and I think
that's super cool.
I think there's a part of that too.
But I think Lies of P is pretty like it's got a rad like vibe about it.
Yeah, I would probably go with my personal being Lies of P. I just think there's something so magical about that IP, and then kind of twisting it, and
Pinocchio's been oddly big this last.
It's weird because my original feeling was about Lies of P was like it feels like somebody posted on Reddit and was like, I turned Pinocchio into a Soulsborne. But then I thought back to all of the Souls-like games that come out and how bad they are at replicating Bloodborne's art style, and it's very good at that, which is not easy to do.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it does a phenomenal job of, like, capturing that art style.
Yeah. It's the only trailer this year I've had to...
My only fault against it is that it is heavily inspired by FromSoft.
So, yeah, stuff. Definitely. And that's why I'm going to hedge my bets and go with this as my personal... it's the only trailer this year that I've had to like pause before the game came out and send a screenshot to my wife being like, that's a sexy main character. That's a handsome man.
It's
right
Timothy Chalamet.
Oh no, don't put that in my head. This is like
my himbo twink chai.
No, this is between the origin story and when he becomes Gene Wilder. Is that the transition? He's midway through.
Yeah.
I think leapfrogging off of you, Randy. I think Alan Wake with all that mixed media.
Yeah.
And I mean, God,
it's very creative. When you go to the city the first time and like
that game oozes Twin Peaks.
Oh, it's very Lynchian.
Yeah, it's like talk about inspired.
Yeah. It's like that's
getting nervously close to plagiarism on that one.
I mean, it's like Hi-Fi Rush looks like the GameCube or Dreamcast Sega game that never was. Like,
right.
And Alan Wake looks like the Twin Peaks game that never was. Like,
yeah, and then as far as like, I think I'm gonna go with Alan Wake. I don't know, just something about Elephant Mario didn't. Wow, enough. It is like it is like taking LSD and playing Mario.
I'm never gonna be into the transition of Mario's appearance into 3D post 64.
Right.
But I will I'm very much into it makes for good trailers because I'm very much into how he looks like the instruction manual versions of him from old the NES and SNES games I used to read the Mario comics and stuff as a kid. But I don't know. I think it loses that flair pretty short.
I'm going to throw a wrench into things. Because we're going to be tying too much in this, so I want to make it interesting.
All right.
I'm going to say Super Mario Wonder is my prediction.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to say Alan Wake 2 as my personal pick.
I just think that Mario games are becoming like Street Fighter games where they have such a tie-in to their art style.
Well, first of all, let's just say it's a crime that Street Fighter 6 is not in here.
That's surprising.
Yeah, because Street Fighter 6 does so much more to elevate the Street Fighter aesthetic than Mario Wonder does the Mario aesthetic.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this. I'm going to put this on the record. I agree with everything both of you said. But I think people's brains are broken.
Yeah,
so that's why I'm voting. That's why I'm predicting Mario.
I think betting against our brains isn't the worst idea.
No.
Yeah, I think I'm going to get this wrong. I kind of think it's going to be Alan Wake 2, but I just want to make things interesting.
Watch it be Hi-Fi.
I wish.
Keeping with the cooler categories, best score in music or for outstanding music inclusive of score, original song, and or a licensed soundtrack. That's
very important to distinguish.
Yes.
Because I know what your pick is, and I know what my pick is,
yeah.
And it's the same.
Yep. Pick is absolutely Hi-Fi Rush.
Yep.
Personal?
Personal pick is a Hi-Fi Rush for me
when else
as well.
am I going to get, like...
Worrying by Joy Formidable in a video game? Never.
in this like, glorious final moment, and have a boss fight synced up to 9 Inch Nails and a raid sequence with the Prodigy behind it.
And a dubstep remix of Beethoven.
Yeah, that's right.
Man, it's been a while since I played that thing. Jeez.
And the original stuff is great too.
Yes.
So I know the Tango Game Works had like studio musicians like working like with them, like on all that.
Okay, so what's your prediction?
Final Fantasy 16.
Okay. Really?
It's
kind of surprising.
I know. Well, I think Final Fantasy music is like, famous within like.
Right. No,
there's
definitely.
such a legacy to it, and those people go gaga over it. And I would have just gone Hi-Fi Rush twice, but I think there might be divisiveness if you're not like as into that style or those artists.
Yeah. No. So I think for me, I guess maybe I'm looking at this wrong, but it's Final Fantasy as Final Fantasy music.
Yeah. So, I don't know if outside the context of the game.
Right. So like going from like 14 and even like 15 with like the MMO and this, it's like, I don't know, are the judges taking that into consideration? Or are they basing this off of just this year?
Yeah,
and it's like
kind of like a mishmash.
Does it use old compositions and kind of
it redoes them in a good way.
Yeah.
But it also has a little bit of, it feels like a mishmash of a Final Fantasy score and a Devil May Cry score, because it is a Devil May Cry game pretty much.
Yeah.
So there's like ripping guitars in there when there wouldn't usually be in a Final Fantasy game, but there's also a lot of orchestral shit.
And that's kind of how I feel about Tears of the Kingdom as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's Zelda music. So
yeah,
of course it's gonna.
I mean, I think
that fucking
Alan
theme.
Wake's music is the most interesting, but it's like you notice it when it's there, but it makes its presence known when.
Oh yeah.
In the best way. I think it has the best. It has by far in a way like the coolest like music moment of the year. Well. Maybe not with the wearing shirt.
Yeah, but hey, hold on. I'm in the process of playing the game right now.
Okay, all right. Because basically I was saying like as like really crazy as that part in Alan Wake is, the talk show, scene. It's I'm never gonna listen to that not in the game. Mm-hmm. It's like it's unlike some music in Hi-Fi Rush was already familiar with or discovered.
Right, but at the same time. It was made not to be in the game. That's the counter argument to that.
Yeah.
Is that like Whirring was not made to be in Hi-Fi Rush.
No.
But to their credit, they made it fit.
Right. They made everything fit. I thought by now I would be like sick of the Lonely Girl by the Black Keys, but even that opening is synced so like wonderfully that I'm just like, fine, all right, I'll take this again. And then
with all that being said too, I think my pick is probably going to be Hi-Fi Rush as well.
All right.
Okay.
Because at its heart, at its soul, that whole game is music.
Right. Well, so the next one, is category's audio design, and I'm just like, if it's not that game, I don't understand.
Right. But
it's like because everything is like synced in the background and everything. Like it's all mechanically.
Part of me wants to pick that too because I think nothing really stands out, but I will say. It's the year of having a hard-on for Baldur's Gate, so even though I don't this is probably like a bad pick, but I'm gonna go with Baldur's Gate. I think it's gonna be like a prop it up because it's
not wrong.
Look at what the video game industry could do in 2023.
The problem is, and I'm gonna be super critical on Baldur's Gate. I really like it. It's a phenomenal video game. I think if there's ever a category for it to lose, it's this because the music is just kind of whatever.
Yeah,
you did point out, Austin, interestingly on this website that Hi-Fi Rush is he's listed as an audio director as opposed to composers. But
it's all about how you direct that audio. It's not about composing it; it's how you direct. You go there, you go over here. So I don't know. I kind of came into this with the idea, and this is going to be blatantly obvious as we go through these categories that I think this is. The video game industry is having a sex scene with Baldur's Gate 3 at the Game Awards this year, so it's not going to be a 4-minute speed run, but it's I think it's going to be.
You think they're going to come out and just be like, anyway, that game won these 12 categories. Here's some trailers.
Yeah, it's just get Yosef up there from and have him curse and say fuck the Oscars for like 20 minutes. Have the Rock. No, it wasn't The Rock. Somebody was talking for way too long.
That was Christopher Judge, the God of War.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Also Al Pacino.
Oh yeah.
Remember he had to stand off to the side for.
Yeah. Do you remember when he
buckled?
You remember he had like dementia and he was like rambling forever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. It's like he does not know where he is.
He's having a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Is he really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What?
This year.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Like 80s.
Yeah. Hey, mind your business.
The boys are still swimming.
Yeah.
It's crazy what money can do.
They're swimming upstream, if you know what I mean. That's a terrible accent.
Austin, what are you choosing?
Okay, so I would like to credit our friend and former guest, Dan Bittner, who once told me, if you're ever going to bet on sports, bet against the team you don't want to win. Either way, you're happy.
Yeah, it's a good way to live.
So I'm going hard on Nintendo, and I'm going to say,
oh my God.
I'm going to say Tears of the Kingdom for my prediction, because if I lose this game by a bunch of points, I will be so happy that Nintendo didn't get any fucking credit for doing the same shit for 20 years. And then obviously personal pick, Hi-Fi Rush.
Yeah.
There's no other option.
Yeah.
Speaking of, this will pair well with best audio design, or recognizing the best in-game audio and sound design. There's Alan Wake 2, Dead Space, and its sole nomination.
That's deserved.
Well,
they redid the audio.
No. I'm just saying that wasn't an action game. Like Dead Space, I mean.
Yeah.
I thought we'd see more of it. That game reviewed.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Hi-Fi Rush.
It's a remake.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
look further down that list.
Yeah, okay. So Marvel Spider-Man 2 and Resident Evil 4.
It's just the remake that wasn't quite as good as the other remake.
No, it just wasn't as transformative.
There you go.
Resident Evil's always been fantastic at sound design. But
let me just say,
yeah,
this category is stacked. All 5 of these games have phenomenal audio design.
And
yeah, I'd have to agree.
I think this is also the first.
I have no idea what to pick.
I think this is also the first year that Call of Duty wasn't nominated. That's like the one thing that series still does.
Well,
yeah.
I know, like everyone hates
deserved,
it.
Well,
maybe.
Yeah.
Deserved non-nomination.
Well, we're just talking about sound. Transformers gets nominated for sound at the Academy
Awards. Is it best
Awards.
audio design when you just reuse all the audio design you did last year? Because they did that more so than the past.
Those guys were just punching a time.
Well, this was a map.
Their feet up.
This was a map pack.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But nope. Hi-Fi Rush, and if any are my or both the answers
You're going
for me.
full heart.
But yeah, and if it loses, I'm shutting the stream off.
No love for RE4?
Oh, well, there's plenty of love for RE4, but I mean, like the entire game is audio design.
I know.
Hi-Fi Rush. It's
the fucking sound effects when you get the combos.
Yeah.
Of the people cheering letter and letter.
It's great.
It's so good. All right, Sean.
You go.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Say some cool stuff so I can go. I agree.
That's smart. I like
I don't know if Spider-Man will get credit for this again, but I love the audio design in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They do the thing where every line of dialogue is recorded twice.
Oh, really?
Once for you being on the ground and once for you
swinging.
swinging.
Like what Uncharted and Last of Us 2 and stuff? Yeah.
No, it's different. So basically, if you're swinging while you're talking to someone on the phone, they will play one line of dialogue where he's like exerting himself, where he's like, "Oh, I'll be home soon." Yeah. And then like if you're walking on the ground, he'll be like, "Oh, I'll be home soon." And they transition.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
They don't transition instantly, obviously, but if you are mid conversation and you land on the ground, the next line that plays will be.
Some engineer works so hard on that, and I bet 95% of the people that play the game wouldn't even notice.
It's impressive, and then plus like they have you got like Venom is in there, and he's got like his crazy tentacle ooze sounds. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Dead Space and Resident Evil, I think, will not win because they are remakes.
When has that stopped anybody before? No, but I agree.
They remade all the sound from Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, I know.
Honorable mention to Mortal Kombat, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, they're the best.
Those bone crunching. Yeah,
I can't help but think of the Miss March audio
I think
recording.
we brought that up on this podcast.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't.
Just sounds like you're bad at eating hot dogs.
Yeah, I can't get over the gouache with like pudding in it.
Great party. Yeah. We should have mic'd her. Hindsight's 2020.
It sounds like you're punching diarrhea.
Okay, I'm gonna say Alan Wake 2 for my prediction.
All right. I love the sound of the clicker.
Yes.
When you turn it off and on.
And then
that's what it's called, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say Hi-Fi Rush.
For your personal?
For my personal, because Randy's right. No, I'm writing them the way I'm saying them.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're doing it backwards.
I mean, I don't want to point fingers, but yeah.
Yeah, okay. We're the problem. We get it.
Where are you at?
Man, when you brought up the point about like the music in Alan Wake, it kind of, I have a lot of minor issues with that game, especially the audio, because it's like, I was like,
in Austin's case, the audio got bugged.
Oh, did it? Yeah, I mean, the first thing that happened,
I have a surround sound system, like a dumbass, and the center channel just didn't play.
This is a PC version?
No, it's PS5.
Oh, okay.
So in order to hear people when they were talking to me, I had to turn to the left or right, so it would come out of the left or right speakers. Because if I was facing them, it would come out of the center channel speaker, which wasn't playing on the audio.
That's terrible.
You're gonna have to speak into my good ears, son. Yeah. So there's a little minute things for Alan Wake, and it kind of just made me think like, I was in like the basement of like the manor or whatever, and then it's like super tense, like something's around the corner, and then I just walk out of it, and it's like gone. It just hollows.
Really?
It just dropped out, and just silly stuff like that. But I want to just kind of piggyback off of your point too about Spider-Man. That was like one of the coolest things. Like if you're close to somebody and they start having a conversation with you, but then you just like, I'm fucking Spider-Man, and then you just take off. The transition from being close to them and then it going into your suit, like earpiece and stuff. I love that.
Also, if you happen upon something, if you're on a phone call and you happen upon something, it does the thing that is so underappreciated in video games, which is Miles or Peter goes, I'll call you back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then it plays the audio for the thing that you arrived at. Then after the thing that you arrived at, it goes, what were we saying?
Sony games in general have done it pretty good.
Yeah, no.
Uncharted also does that.
Yeah. It's the words right I will say I do find a lot of the sound like a lot of the distortion and glitch effects in Alan Wake 2 pretty effective.
Also the binaural audio of like
the whispering
behind you is really cool. That's why I picked it. I predicted it.
I will say, it's probably I don't think
it's very Hellblade, and Hellblade is a proven favorite at these awards.
Yes. With that being said, I want Hi-Fi Rush to win.
Okay.
I do, but I think
that's your bet.
I think it's
going to decide the ultimate gamer.
God, I need that plaque on my wall. I think, like you said, Randy, if this isn't the category, what is
for Hi-Fi Rush?
Exactly.
So
you're doing both.
All right. Next is best performance, or awarded to an individual for voice over acting, motion, and or performance capture. I know a lot of folks saying like it's cool that nothing in this is gender specific, but in that case, they should probably have more slots.
I agree.
Because we have 6. Ben Starr in Final Fantasy 16. Cameron Monaghan in Star Wars Jedi Survivor. Idris Elba in Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty. Melanie LeBird in Alan Wake 2. Neil Newborn in Baldur's Gate 3. And Yuri Lowenthal from Marvel Spider-Man 2. So Star Wars Jedi Survivor, that's not his first foray of that character, and neither is the Marvel, the Peter Parker.
No, Yuri Lowenthal has been playing Peter Parker for a very long time.
And I know the actor that played Miles won the year that.
And I think he's better.
Sure.
Even in this game, but it is a problem because I think Yuri gets center stage.
Yes.
In Spider-Man 2.
It's more his story.
It is more his story, but Miles is very good. Yep. My favorite of the 3 is Miles Morales, the middle game. And I prefer that character. Because of the
performance, right?
Oh, it's so good.
I hurried up and played that before 2 came out. And I was like, I'm so glad that I did. It's
so good.
Yeah, that story
and
is
also,
so good.
And shout out to the GOAT, Rio Morales. His mom rules. Best character in media history. Between her portrayal in those games and her portrayal in the Spider-Verse movies.
Oh, it's the same.
She rules. Okay. No, it's not the same actress.
Okay.
I'm just saying that character fucking rules.
Yeah.
The only other note I have written down here is that Saga sucks.
Oh, man. I do not. I do not like that performance.
No, it's such a bummer, sleepy.
Dude.
It's crazy because I want to say it's direction.
Yeah, I'm not saying I blame her, but I'm just saying
I don't know.
She doesn't react to anything other than with some inappropriate excitement.
I think it's on purpose because everybody else is so weird and they think having a normal character will balance it out.
Yeah, but there's dialogue for it. And she has to calm herself down. She's like, okay, one thing at a time, or stay focused.
So much self-narration, which I do not like. But it's
worse than the self-narration in Control, which was bad.
Yeah. And it's funny because Sam Lake's character is by far the most like fun, or like the two guys in the commercial, but I don't know who's ADR'd and what's just like if they're splitting the duties up. I do believe she does her own voice and the performance.
I think, we said this before. I think that if you were going to nominate anybody in that game, I think that Alan Wake is way better, but also Alan Wake is two people.
Exactly, yeah.
Because it's mocap / live action of a guy with an ADR / voice acting of another guy.
Mm-hmm. And so is Casey as well.
And so is Casey. So
I think whoever the stand-in is for...
Don't.
Okay.
Is this late game spoiler?
Yeah, we'll save it for our show.
Yeah.
But
I can tell you exactly where I'm at, but...
we'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it,
So I'd be kind of blind picking here. I'd almost want to say Idris Elba because he's a great like actor, but from the people I know that have played Phantom Liberty say it's nothing to write home about.
He's good.
Serviceable. I know a lot of people like whoever, I don't know her name, but who played the president. People like...
Yes, she's better.
Yeah. I know they usually like having a celebrity.
Yeah.
He's no wake the fuck up samurai.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
I think he's... Yeah, it's weird because I think he's doing a better job than Keanu in some aspects. But I also think that Keanu is giving more of himself to the performance, if that makes sense.
Keanu always gives all
I know.
Is Idris Elba's character supposed to be like stoic or...
Yeah, he is. He's a former like basically FBI agent, but it's not called the FBI because it's like a different universe. But yeah.
I don't know. I haven't played enough of Cyberpunk, but Choom, is he a Choom guy? I don't know.
No, he doesn't say Choom all that often.
Isn't that from Cyberpunk?
That is from Cyberpunk.
Isn't that their what is it? Elder Scrolls.
I don't know. It's just
Skooma?
Like
that's their
no. Choom is like dude.
Oh, okay.
It's like you
chum?
call like chum.
I would have liked seeing...
I thought it was drugs.
No.
I would have liked seeing someone from Hi-Fi Rush or even MK or Oxford. I don't know. I didn't play. It's just... and I know, like, Andrew and you specifically talked about there's having only one person from Baldur's Gate because there's a lot in there.
And not the person I would pick, although a very good character.
Universally, people seem to say that Ben Starr is the standout.
He's my personal pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That dude, to borrow a TikTok phrase from the youngins, that dude ate. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that my bet then.
You're gonna put Clive Rossfield?
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched about a half hour of that game. He seemed pretty good.
Yeah, you got it. You got the gist of it.
No, it was more than that. He's on like 90 minutes.
I feel like he's kind of making the rounds, doing a little bit of a press tour. I saw him in a couple clips.
Oh, well, yeah, he also rules. That dude rules.
Okay.
I love him.
He seems very charming. Yeah, people...
Could
very likable.
But here's the question: could we just slot him out and put Vin Diesel in that role, and he still nail it?
No, God, no.
What's with this fucking Bahamut?
You gotta wait for Arc 2.
That thing's too fast. I don't know. Not a good.
I find it funny that it's like to see a Final Fantasy game in performance is kind of wild when you look at the history of those.
So is
dialogue in those.
Who's your personal pick then? Do you just foregoing it because you?
Who gives a shit? Nobody can act in video games anymore. It's the most powerful entertainment medium now, but maybe not.
I don't know if I have one of these 6.
Okay.
I mean, I know the what's his name in Jedi Survivor is going to be like playing that same character in the live action shows. Or
he's very good.
So he must be good.
Yeah.
All of these people besides Saga are very good at what they're doing.
And again, I don't think it's her fault. I think
I
definitely think
because you can tell because like Control is like the same, like you said, is like she's directed the same way that Jesse is.
Yeah,
like it's
just not to be freaked out by everything.
Exactly. Dude wakes up on the fucking autopsy table and starts attacking people, dead body, and then just like, oh.
I mean, if I was that fat and my dick was that small, I'd be mad too. Got him, dead guy, bitch. Sorry.
It's bloated.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it.
I will say.
Well, that's what they call it, the game. I haven't figured out why yet. I think there's got to be a reason.
Yeah, he woke up and didn't say he was, the rain maybe. No, that's submerged.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
for both personal pick.
Get there.
His ankles are swollen.
For both personal pick and for prediction, I am completely, no offense to either of the performers, or any of the performers, I am completely taking out the first 3 on this list I'm looking at: Idris Elba, Melanie Labourd, and Yuri Lowenthal, because I think that they are fine, serviceable. I think Yuri does a better job than the other 2, but
I agree.
But it's a very close call between Cameron Monaghan, Neil Newborn, and Ben Starr. They're all very good. I think Cal Kestis is kind of like the thing. My prediction is Astarion from Baldur's Gate.
Okay.
And my personal pick is Ben Starr. And it's very close between the 2 for prediction, but I think Astarion is just like such a interesting, kind of flamboyant character that he really like theaters up his performance in a great way. But I think that that'll win people over like the angsty performance of Clive Rossfield.
Yeah,
because he is yelling a lot, and you know. And
I haven't seen any of Baldur's Gate, so I can't speak.
And then Cameron Monaghan is very good as Cal Kestis, but the problem is he is a Star Wars character.
Yeah.
And Star Wars characters are relatively boring, and he does the absolute fucking best he can with what he's given.
They can't all be Adam Driver.
But like when you're when you're waxing poetic about the Force and shit, it's just like.
No, I agree.
The performance suffers, and it's not your fault.
No,
but like
we're saying that as Star Wars.
But but spoilers, they kissed.
They did kiss.
Who did he kiss? The robot?
Look for
or Richard Horvitz's frog.
Look for moment or sequence. For more about that scene, because I love that. That's one of my favorite Star Wars scenes in Star Wars media. Yeah, but I'm gonna say Astarion prediction, Ben Starr personal.
What about you, Sean?
Man, I love being third.
All right, we'll do it that way.
Couldn't have said it better myself. No, I definitely think it's between those 2 as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of torn because I was gonna go. Was it Ben Starr?
Yeah, Ben Starr.
With
2 R's.
What a name. Okay. Man, yeah, I'm kind of torn between those 2. Like, I think for. My personal is I obviously not seeing anything is going to be Astarion. But yeah, sex icon or king icon or some shit is basically what I'm getting the vibe of. And I think again,
it's a vampire sex icon.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
Trust me.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear. Never mind. Yeah, I think I'm going to double up. I think This is the year of the BG3.
Okay, so you're doing Astarion for both?
Yeah.
All right. Shout outs to my girl Carlac. You were robbed. I'm just going to say that.
Then always a bit of an odd one. Games for impact, or for a thought-provoking game with a pro-social meaning or message. Suspiciously absent are always like larger, big budget games. This seems to be more aimed at the independent stuff, which will become its own conversation in a moment. But we have A Space for the Unbound, Chance of Sonar, Goodbye Volcano High, Tchia, Terra Nil, and Venba.
I think it's Tchia.
I then also every time I read this. I have not played any of these.
Yeah.
And I've seen trailers for most of them. I want my pick and my bet to be Chance of Sonar, because I like that it's all about language. Yeah. It's got a really like neat vibe to it, and I think like I don't know if that game might be a little too smart for my dumb brain, but I love that it exists.
Yeah,
and that doesn't seem like anything else like it.
Out of all the games on here, that was the one that like struck me the most.
Same,
and I was most interested in playing.
So you're both saying that for both?
No. This is his time.
Okay.
I'm just talking it up.
I remember when Goodbye Volcano High first got announced. I was like, I might be interested in that.
I still want to play it. Yeah. We should play it.
We should. I thought you played Venba.
I did play Venba, and that is my pick and my prediction.
Okay.
Because that game does a whole lot with culture. It's a lot about Indian culture.
Yeah,
it fucking looks like it.
But the it's all told through cooking, but it's about like immigrants and what it's like. I mean, they're in Canada, not America, but it's about like moving to another country and leaving your family behind, and then they raise a kid, and the kid then the game then becomes about the kid going through school as an Indian kid in like a predominantly white school, and like being ashamed of his culture, and his parents trying to be like, you shouldn't be ashamed, you should be proud, and then him growing up and being like, actually I am proud.
That sounds really beautiful.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if it's something I want to play.
Yeah. It's very short.
Yeah.
I played it because I love cooking games.
Sure.
But it is
regular cooking mom over
I
here.
think it is a very
I like its mission.
It is clearly made for somebody who has a reverence for that culture. I don't know who made it. I'm assuming that they are of that culture.
Visaya Games.
Probably.
But if you aren't familiar with Indian culture, it has a lot to teach you about that, and I think that's kind of the spirit of the category. So,
all right.
And also, I haven't played the rest of them, but I think it does a good job at what it set out. Really good job at what it set out to do. So,
yeah, I mean, it's a kind of a bummer category for me too, because out of all the games here, I wanted to play Tchia and Chants of Sonar.
I played Tchia. I did not beat Tchia because I got like a trial on PlayStation Plus, and I don't know what the Games for Impact thing of that. It seems like an indie Breath of the Wild type game.
Right.
That's what I thought.
What's the message?
I don't know what the message is. I didn't get far enough in it.
Oh.
You can be anything.
That's what it says.
Even a banana leaf if you want to be.
Be all that you can be. Wait, that's the army.
Yeah.
And Goodbye Volcano High just seems like
coming of age teen.
High school teen, but with LGBTQ themes, and like, let's be honest, they've had their time in the sun.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you heard that.
You win every year.
That here. Get back in the closet. Be ashamed of who you are. Just kidding.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I don't know.
I really want to play that game. I like the demo a lot.
Did you pick?
Yeah. I'm Chants of Sonar for both.
Okay. Yeah, out of everything here, I'm going to go Chance for personal because sure. Mm-hmm. And just to make it spicy, I feel like Venba's going to win.
You might, yeah.
But I'm going to go with a Space for the Unbound.
Okay. I don't even know what that is.
I don't either.
Me neither, but
just looking at the thumbnail.
Yeah, that's a sad girl. I'm sure she's got a story to tell.
Oh, I do know what that is. Okay.
Like Hotline Miami, right?
You can't go back.
No, I'm not. I'm
drug-induced fucking top-down shooter.
I love that so much.
Okay. All right, next category.
So this came with a little controversy this year.
Yeah.
Best independent game, or for outstanding creative and technical achievement in a game made outside the traditional publisher system. There's Cocoon, Nexon's Dave the Diver, Dredge, Sea of Stars, and Viewfinder.
Does the traditional system have anything to do with funding?
Well, if you ask Keighley...
hey, just don't make a big deal about it, okay? Forget about it.
Everybody's panties hurt a bunch over that,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to feel. It's like, in one hand, he's not wrong in that indie has become an aesthetic, like indie music,
right.
And it's like, if you have a large company with multiple teams, or you're just overseeing smaller companies, it's very possible their scope and budget is just as comparable to the rest of them, even if there's a daddy upstairs to handle your publishing and advertising.
A very rich daddy.
Yeah, game daddy.
But it's like, Viewfinder, Dredge, Steve's, almost all these games, Cocoon, actually, I think every one of these games has had some type of deal for being shown at Summer Games Fest or PlayStation
his
or
blurb
Nintendo
is very
Direct.
damning because it says outside the traditional publisher system. But like Cocoon was published by
Annapurna.
Yeah. And Team 17, the Worms guys did Dredge.
Oh, did they? Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, Team 17.
And then Thunderful did Viewfinder. So like, it's not more than half of these are in the traditional publisher system.
Where's Devolver at this year? I'm surprised Telos Principle. Well, maybe that released too late.
They literally did not put Nexon on there.
Yeah, well, the problem
they
is
went back in after the fact.
The problem is that Mint Rocket is not published by Nexon. It's self-published by Mint Rocket, who is owned by Nexon.
Yeah.
So we don't know how
they're an internal studio.
Yeah.
Which is the problem. You're not independent when you are owned.
Right, because we were talking about this in the car the other day about how like Netflix bought Night School or whatever, and it's like,
and Geometric Interactive Cocoon was published by Annapurna, but they are not owned by Annapurna.
Right.
They are independent and got funding independently.
Yeah.
Whereas the funding for Dave the Diver came from the company that owns them.
And isn't Sea of Stars, wasn't that crowdfunded?
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, there is...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, there's traditional...
Shout outs to those people. I don't want to play your fucking game. I don't like turn-based RPGs, but The Messenger rules.
But Chrono Trigger or something.
I don't care.
I do want to play Viewfinder.
Same.
That concept is so genius. I don't know if it holds for the whole time according to how it tries to tell a story. From what we've heard of people we know, but that said, my pick is Cocoon because I thought it was awesome. I love the idea of a puzzle action game that you only play with one button the entire time. And the way that the game teaches you and you figure things out, you never get stuck on like an obstacle or a puzzle or a boss fight for too long. Like they're all very inventive.
It's very inventive. It's recursive.
Yeah,
that's a Tetris player answer if I've ever heard it. One button.
Yes, it is. That's all you need.
Spin.
Although my bet is Sea of Stars because JRPG people are insane.
That's true. I feel like I don't know if you played Viewfinder, but I feel I've seen you on Cocoon and I've seen you on Dave the Diver.
I played
recently.
the demo for Viewfinder. I didn't buy it.
I found it interesting.
I
definitely thought it was
very cool.
Cool concept.
But from what I understand, it doesn't do as much as you would hope with that concept.
Right. Not like a Portal.
Whereas Cocoon has Portal vibes. It does a lot with the very simple concept that it has.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, every game on this list interested me in some way this year. With that being said, Dredge was the only one I got to really experience, which I loved. I really did enjoy Dredge. I'm not sure your guys' opinions on the game itself, but
sure.
Because I haven't played anything else, my personal pick is going to be Dredge because I did enjoy my time with it.
That's also a really fun pitch for a game, having this Lovecraftian horror fishing game. That's fucking weird.
That is a cool elevator pitch.
Yeah.
I was not a fan of the gameplay.
That's fair.
The idea was very cool. Yeah.
Sorry, I forgot to ask the obligatory annoying question. Is Baldur's Gate 3 an indie?
Technically outside of the traditional publisher system, so yes.
Yeah. So where's that?
They should just rename the category to best game that didn't cost $100 million.
Yeah. We need a special word for that.
Yeah.
Best game that you paid less than $30.
Yeah, that you can beat in under 15.
Well, hold on. Dave the Diver is 25 hours long, and I know that because I beat it. Okay.
Ooh. Why is it that long?
I don't know. I bought it. I thought it would be 8 hours long, and it was triple that. So,
did you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You will hear more about Dave the Diver on our deliberations because I have some issues with that game, but I have some things I really like.
Yeah, we did briefly talk about that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go with Sea of Stars as well.
Okay.
All right.
I just think the whole crowdfunding aspect to it. And
it's a
self-publishing,
success story.
I would like to say that I agree with both of you. However, to make things interesting and to vote with my heart, I'm going Cocoon for both.
Okay.
Right.
Because I think Cocoon is...
I'll be happy if you're right.
We're so cool
and
in what it does.
X-plated?
Yeah.
Inside and...
We're too energetically aligned.
Now, almost the exact same category.
Yeah, so in line with that, there's Best Debut Indie Game, or for the best debut game created by a new independent studio.
I'm going first. Pizza Tower for both.
I also, so that's the funny thing. My pick of these is Pizza Tower as well, which I'm sad wasn't an independent game.
Yeah,
they could have stripped Dave the Diver out and put fucking Pizza Tower in there, but it's Cocoon, Dredge, Pizza Tower, Venba, and Viewfinder.
Sorry to jump ahead there.
No, it's fine. I
got a little excited.
I love that Pizza Tower is it looks like a deranged fucking Ren and Stimpy cartoon, and it's just this cacophony of visuals and sound. That game is so extra.
Yeah,
and the fact that it's built from it spawned out of a a WarioWare or not WarioWare. Sorry,
where was this game in best art direction?
Seriously,
for real, yeah.
This game looks like somebody's mind is not working properly, and they made a video game.
For me, it feels like our friend Conroy, like it just fell.
I mean,
yeah. I love that there's a reaction cam on screen at all times for no reason.
As somebody who bought both Dave the Diver and Pizza Tower on the Steam Black Friday sale or whatever, I'm currently playing through Pizza Tower, and I don't know how I feel about that game gameplay wise, but man, am I glad it exists.
Yeah.
All right, so you're Pizza Tower for both, Randy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I can't really shake it up too much.
You know what? No. My pick is Pizza Tower. My bet is Cocoon.
What about you, Sean?
No, doubling up.
All right.
Give me 2 slices.
Okay.
I think it's too damn weird, but
All right. Well, I'm going to say that I'm not going to put Cocoon for both, because it's kind of like a Oscars thing where it's like,
you win one or the other.
Why make both categories if you're just going to give it to both games? So
I see what you're doing.
I'm going to say Viewfinder is my prediction, and Cocoon is my pick.
Okay.
Even I don't think it's going to win both, but I think Cocoon is far and away my favorite indie game this year. So,
and that was free on Game. Not that it matters.
No,
but
it's still on Game Pass.
Yes.
That's how
whenever these games come out, I literally like download it, and it's like a little. It's like a what are those things called? When you put stuff, a time capsule.
Yeah.
My Game Pass list is a time capsule for all the shit that I never got around to playing.
Yeah, they're just like, this isn't available anymore, and I'm like, I'm gonna leave it installed. Okay.
So best ongoing game.
I don't care.
Awarded for a game.
Honestly,
awarded to a game for understanding development of ongoing content that evolves the player experience over time. Basically, it's the live service game, which is currently collapsing.
Yeah. No. So. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if you guys saw what happened to Fortnite.
Peter Griffin.
And honestly, I think they're doing something special. Go ahead and.
So we have Apex Legends. Fuck that game. That's the reason we don't have Titanfall 3. So remember that when you're voting. Cyberpunk 2077, which is not an ongoing game. They just put
Wait a second.
They just put out a DLC and then fixed it.
No, what if I told you that if you release a game broken as shit on launch, that you could enter into
3 years later, then you say you're an ongoing game?
This is really a No Man's Sky story all over again.
This is ridiculous. Yeah, well, the No Man's Sky gets the Forever Award.
Yeah.
No Man's Sky gets the Lifetime Achievement Award.
Yeah. Then it's Final Fantasy 14, Fork Knife, and Genshin Impact. So
yeah.
Who cares?
I guess
I don't want to play any of these.
Yeah,
except Cyberpunk.
Well, that's the thing.
But
it goes against the award, but I'm just going to say Cyberpunk for both.
Okay.
I'm sorry. When I was casually scrolling through, what is it, X? Because that's going to mark its gravesite in about 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the death animation for the Peter Griffin skin, and it's literally him holding his shin going,
oh, yeah.
I don't know if it has audio. I just looked at the video, and I was like, these guys are going places. This Epic Games company, these Fortnite guys, they're doing big things.
That they are.
They're the licensing juggernauts.
Mm-hmm.
It's Fortnite's world. We're all just living in it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't wait until
I'm a Fortnite character.
Yeah, eventually the singularity will happen.
Yeah,
eventually they'll run out of famous shit, and they'll just start. Everybody who accepted the terms of service will just become a Fortnite character.
Wait, is Donnie Must still there? I thought something happened recently.
I think Donald Mustard left.
Damn it.
Yeah.
How is he going to commit all those crimes in the study with a candlestick? I think honestly, I don't play ongoing games. I like different experiences.
Yeah, how dare you?
I'm not of the TikTok generation personally, where I need bite-size everything.
Yeah, maybe we're all too old for this category. I would say World War Z is like the one game that consistently still gets updates, and I'm like, oh, and then we play it for a couple nights and then move on with our lives.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I've just Fortnite double up.
I fell off of Siege and Overwatch and all that.
All right, stuff. I'm gonna go with Randy and say Cyberpunk double up. So next category.
What are they? Do they really need to get acknowledged?
No.
It's not going to change anything.
I know, but like the amount of categories that they're in, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, in similar fashion, we have best community support. So this is where No Man's Sky.
It's the Forever Award.
Yeah, exactly. But best community support, or recognizing a game for outstanding community support, transparency, and responsiveness, inclusive of social media activity and game updates/patches. There's Baldur's Gate 3, which we should point out was a early access title for a couple of years.
Right.
Cyberpunk 2077, which bombed and came back.
Which was an early access title for a couple of years.
They just didn't call it that.
Yeah.
Destiny 2, who laid off half their staff, including the community.
It wasn't half. It was like a third.
It's definitely not best company support. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 14, and then and No Man's Sky. So I'm just gonna say my pick is No Man's Sky, and my bet I'm just gonna say Cyberpunk again. I don't know.
Okay. I think that it's so awesome to lay off everybody that you've hired. So there's no way, like, who'd they pay? There's no way that the Destiny community.
No, they hate them.
They hate that game.
They've been constantly dropping the ball, and I'm almost certain that they had like a big update that was supposed to happen, and it's like to the middle of the year next year.
Yeah,
so I get shit happens.
By the way,
hey, maybe you can expedite. Wait, go ahead.
On our update, I had to say, as of November 20th at 5 p.m., they have not delayed this. They delayed it while I was fucking editing the episode.
Yeah, which is crazy. We laid a bunch of people off.
Yeah,
and you know what would help get that game out when we said it was going to be out? That staff we just got rid of.
See if they're not invited.
And then as our friend, again, to bring him up again, our friend Dan informed us that they introduced like a new microtransaction that pissed everyone off again.
Great.
So that they could make money because they're not going to make money off an expansion anymore.
By the way, you know what's funny about that Bungie news that broke? It was also like right after we finished recording was when they Embracer announced that they were going to shut down Free Radical.
Yeah.
Which so now I got to put that in next year.
Oh, damn. Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
I forgot about that.
Broke me up.
I'm doing BG3 for both.
All right.
And
safe bet.
Damn. Hold on, I gotta bring it up. Unfortunately,
you said you like going last.
That's true. I don't have a lot to say about this that I haven't already said. Yeah. Fuck you, Bungie.
We're about to get into the genre.
Didn't they just buy their independence?
No, Sony has them.
No, didn't they do it like 2 years ago? And then
from Activision, and then Sony
and I was
bought
like,
them.
that's fucking tight. And then they're like, Big Daddy Sony, we don't want to be enveloped into the...
They drove a dump truck of money up to their houses, then they're not made of stone.
Yeah. How much did you get? Or wait, I guess, how much? Never mind. It's too much thinking
you
required.
Cut this check, you put a 1 and 2 zeros in front of that.
Yeah, it's a blank check situation.
Yeah.
Where the child gets assaulted. Anyway, No Man's Sky is my pick, because fuck yeah. You guys are amazing. And yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 is my pick. Sorry, I had to go with one of those two.
Sorry, I said Cyber, so.
Baldur's Gate 3 is your prediction, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
My personal is No Man's Sky. I'm playing to win. I want to be crowned gamerest gamer.
Then the bane of my existence, best mobile game. Or for the game, but wait.
You play taking a
for
shit.
The game, for the best game playable on a mobile device.
Best game playable where you can take a shit.
Doesn't that mean any Switch game? Or
I mean,
Steam Deck?
This should be an interesting category next year.
These are all phone, yeah.
Because guess what? Every PlayStation game is a mobile game, technically, kind of.
I mean, so is every Xbox game, too.
And well, yeah, I mean, yeah. This is stupid.
Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Wait, is that the Battle Royale that got shut down? All right.
That's First Soldier.
Sorry.
Ever Crisis is the remake of the original.
Ah, all right.
But not the remake.
Then it's the South Park joke turned reality Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Honkai Star Rail, Monster Hunter Now, and Terra Nil.
I got no skin in this game.
Me neither.
The only one I played is Hello Kitty Island Adventure.
Hell yeah.
So.
All right, well, let's do, are we going to do wild card picks? All three of us do something different?
Yeah. Monster Hunter now, for those, if you can't read the creator, is Pokemon Go, but with Monster Hunter. Made by Niantic.
Fantastic.
It's the 17th one of those they've made. They made a Pikmin one. They made a Harry Potter one. They made a Jurassic Park one.
None of them have landed like Pokemon Go has.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to choose them then.
Okay. Wild pick.
Yeah.
I just like Capcom. I hate Monster Hunter, but...
Yeah. I think for this game, they're Crapcom. The only game they can be called that for this. Is
that your pick for both?
What? No, I don't have a personal pick.
Okay.
Yeah, you know what? No. You said Final Fantasy VII is a remake?
Yes.
Is that a cheat to just say that?
Sure.
It's a remake for what? Crisis Core on PSP?
No. This is another remake. They're remaking the turn-based version of Final Fantasy for mobile.
What's Terranil?
Wait, so it's
Terranil's a Devolver game.
All right, I'll choose them.
Terranil is...
No, Terranil says Netflix.
Does it?
Yeah.
Published by Devolver Digital.
Oh.
Netflix on iOS.
Okay, on the.
But Terranil was also in the. All
right, fine.
One.
I choose Terranil then.
Yeah,
so there's some Devolver representation.
So you might remember this. Terranil is a city builder where it's after the apocalypse and like everything's overgrown and you're basically trying to regrow the environment or something like that.
I like SimCity.
That was in Games for Change.
Okay. All right, I'll choose.
Yeah. I'm gonna say my personal pick is Hello Kitty Island Adventure, and my Honkai Star Rail is my prediction because people fucking love that Hoyoverse shit.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make it very interesting because I'm playing to win.
All right.
Sorry. I feel like this is a alley-oop for Honkai Star Rail. Yeah. This could almost be a wash. I would be fine with not including this because you are uninformed, Randy. Weeb games win leagues.
There's no fucking shot it's not Honkai Star Rail. People lose their shit over that stuff.
I don't know what a fucking Hoyo is.
It's the Genshin Impact people's second game.
Yeah.
They already got a nomination.
So you like opening packs and seeing waifus and shit?
Yeah. I'm still going to go for the change game.
Wait, but you're saying Monster Hunter now is your prediction?
No, my prediction is this Terranil.
Oh, you took it away.
You switched up on me.
Hold on. Did.
Okay.
He switched pro'd you.
I don't have a pick. All these games could burn in hell for all I care.
Okay, and what's your personal pick?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking, I don't know, the Crisis or whatever.
Okay.
You said it's going to be Final Fantasy Tactics on mobile. Awesome.
All right. Now an even worse category that no one cares about.
Best VR/AR. How could we forget? Seems like everyone else has.
Wait, oh no. I'm thinking, what is it? 4 comes out in like a week?
Oh, RE4?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, we've gotten
RE4
the second RE4
yes,
in VR.
VR.
Yes. There's the first RE4 in VR.
When's it coming out for iPhones again? That's a lot of release dates.
I don't know.
That's right. For the game experience, playable in virtual or augmented reality, irrespective of platform. Gran Turismo 7, Horizon Call of the Mountain, Humanity, Resident Evil Village VR mode, and Synapse. I am choosing Resident Evil Village because I loved the VR mode in Resident Evil 7, and if it's anything like that, then it'll probably be great.
Yeah, you just
I don't have any opportunity to try it because I don't have a PSVR 2, and they stopped supporting that thing 3 days after it came out, pretty much, so I don't have a lot of reason or incentive to buy one.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I really wanted to see that thing succeed.
Me too.
Because apparently it's a great piece of tech.
Yeah, exactly. And it's more affordable.
And the MetaQuest 3 came out.
Yeah, I've heard it's better than the MetaQuest.
But my bet is Humanity. But that's mostly just because I'm hoping that the Tetris Effect people will get a win.
Okay.
I respect it.
Yeah.
So you're saying Humanity prediction?
Yep.
Village choice.
Yeah, he liked being picked up by the tall dummy Molly.
Imagine that in VR.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
You know what I mean? All right.
Trying not to, okay? Gonna get uncomfortable for us.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Village for both.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Because I don't care, and I genuinely don't follow VR enough to know who gives a shit about any of this stuff, and I like Village, so.
Yeah. I can respect it. I saw a really funny clip, which I think is just like a video on the internet of somebody, I think, playing Gran Turismo 7, and it was very funny.
Yeah.
It was like they were listening to like hard, like this crazy drum and bass music while speeding down a highway and like cruising in between cars. And the guy's fingers, like he's like,
oh no, that's not Gran Turismo. I know what game that is. Yeah.
Are those the people on?
I know what clip that is.
Are those the people on Twitch that they're driving drunk in VR? they get really drunk and they try and play.
And he hits the cop car. Yeah. Is that the one you're talking about?
No.
That's
So this one is just from the VR perspective. So you see like the hand, and he just like he points the way he pokes the radio station to start it, and then he like flips up the visor, and then he's going like this and dancing to the music while he's doing like 180 and swerving through traffic.
Yeah.
But no, I'll just go make this short and sweet. My pick is that because that made me laugh, even if it isn't Gran Turismo 7.
It's not.
And then my personal, that was my personal, and my pick is Horizon.
Okay. I also think that has a good chance.
Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of anybody's game. Synapse, that I feel like there's a VR game that Elijah Wood worked on.
It's not that.
Okay. Oh, the horror one?
Yeah.
No, that game is called Transference.
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's
Ubisoft
a good memory.
Game?
Yeah.
I only know that because it's on. There's a non-VR version on Ubisoft Plus.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, just
PC.
the color scheme is what did that.
Yeah.
Now we're on to the genre stuff. Beginning with best action game, or this is a tad vague there as usual. Best game in the action genre focused primarily on combat. Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon, also in its sole nomination for a game that was pretty beloved this year. Dead Island 2, questionable. Ghost Runner 2, Hi-Fi Rush, and Remnant 2. So I've already said a lot about Hi-Fi Rush. I'm gonna gush about it more in the coming weeks. So
somebody get him a towel.
Yeah. So my pick is Hi-Fi Rush. My bet is Armored Core 6. Because it's FromSoft and they do pretty like that game feels like
that company makes my dick go from soft
to an Armored Core, you know what I'm saying?
Hey. That's great. Sorry.
I do think I don't think Dead Island 2 should be here.
The combat's not great.
And I think Dead Space should be there instead.
Yeah.
Or even like Atomic Heart kind of wasn't what we wanted it to be.
Mm-mm.
I'd put Trepang 2 in there. Anybody play that?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I said.
Well, what was that Max Payne one? Saint Elsewhere?
No, El Paso Elsewhere.
El Paso Elsewhere.
Yeah.
That was cool.
The correct answer to this category is 2 categories from now. Final Fantasy 16 is the best action game I played this year, like far and away. It's a Devil May Cry game. Stop pretending it's an RPG. It's not. Yeah. It's not even close to an RPG. Primarily on combat, that's all that game is, and the combat rules. So it should be Final Fantasy 16, but because it's Final Fantasy, it's in best RPG instead. Spoilers, but
tough competition.
Because it's its sole nomination, I believe, and I might be wrong about that.
Armored Core it is. Yeah.
No, not Armored Core.
Oh, then
Remnant 2.
Oh, Remnant 2 is that's another sole nomination. That's not nominated for multiplayer?
No.
All right.
Which is insane.
Yeah.
So I'm going to predict Remnant 2 for both and go with my heart and lose this category because Remnant 2
that's the spirit.
Rules and it deserves everything. It deserves way more than just one nomination. So
I'm going to just kind of piggyback off of that. I don't know how to feel about Armored Core on this because it is a very action-y game.
That being said, I think Randy is right. It's a FromSoft game. They love them fucking shits there. It's probably going to get that, but it is essentially a character action game.
Geoff is in bed with FromSoft.
Oh, for sure. Him and Miyazaki are like this.
Yeah.
There's no room for Kojima in that threesome?
No. Kojima's off with Chalamet.
Kojima's in his penthouse with Mads Mikkelsen and Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, Chalamet is his personal ottoman, and Mads Mikkelsen lights his cigarettes.
Yeah.
You're so smart.
What a life.
You're so smart. Just saying that. Oh, thank you. I kind of want to... You guys kind of stole it right out from under me because I did not think Dead Island just is weird here.
No.
Ghost Runner 2, I do want to play it. I have not.
The first one was cool.
Yeah, I mean,
It was cool. It's not as good as the rest.
No.
I think
I haven't played 2 though. Maybe they made it better. I don't know.
It seems like more Ghost Runner.
I don't know how much gets factored in when making decisions because again, the
it's
majority.
Just a vote, and
right.
I feel like most people will vote for Armored Core.
I
feel like Armored Core. You look at this list, and I feel like Armored Core is the one you pick if you've never played any of them.
Yeah,
because it's from Soft and because it's Armored Core and it's the 6th one in a franchise.
So I guess in this case, I will vote with my heart because I think it should be Remnant.
I agree.
I think it should. That's my personal.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, I kind of want to double up like you, but I
mean, go for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Show this fucker who's boss.
I'm playing to win. Honestly, I think if I were the sole voter, it would be Remnant, but I'm gonna go with Armored Core because I think there's a lot.
Right.
A lot of what you guys mentioned in the mix.
So action game, not to be confused with that, is best action / adventure game, or for the best action adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving. Alan Wake 2, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
This is an interesting one.
It is. Suck at Hogwarts.
Yeah, suck at Hogwarts. Yeah.
So,
you got what's coming here.
My pick is RE4. I guess I don't know. That's if that's too obvious or on brand for me.
Yeah, that's definitely Randy coded choice.
It's a great game. I don't know how. It's better than the original, which is already in itself
a fantastic game.
Yeah,
right.
And it's
big for the time.
But I don't think this is as. I don't think it's like I said. It's better than the original, but I don't think it's as huge as a jump of RE2, the OG RE2 to the RE2 remake, or the RE1,
yeah,
or to the RE1 remake. They did a more significant job than with the Resident Evil 3 remake. I'm probably still in the camp of liking 7 and 8 more. Some of my issues are like I'm kind of a strange Resident Evil fan, and that 4 actually is not my favorite. And so like some of my qualms with that 2005 game are still found here, but it still plays like a dream, and it's paced and structured so well, and the puzzles are fun, the combat is like tight, and
I want to title this segment Randy's Resident Evil Rant.
Mm-hmm.
Can we play like an alarm?
I'll bottle up the rest of that.
He gets one, so when we get to Game of the Year, he doesn't get to say that again. We have to stop him. Yeah, exactly.
It's the last thing is it's still compared to the other Resident Evil titles. It's a bit too linear for me.
Yeah, it plays like a dream as opposed to Alan Wake 2, which plays like a nightmare.
It's funny because Alan Wake 2 in its gameplay wants to be the new third-person Resident Evil game so bad that they pretty much took the inventory and UI exactly from it, but it's just like stiff and not as satisfying in taking out enemies doesn't feel like the same.
When I saw that shoebox, I was like, that's a nice tip of the fedora to the Resident Evil franchise where you put shit in there.
Yeah.
It's no typewriter, but it is a mug of coffee.
Yeah.
Damn fine coffee.
Yeah. But I do like I wish RE4 had more of the backtracking and environmental familiarity stuff, but that game moves, and Alan Wake should learn more about pacing and structure that Resident Evil does.
I'm sorry, I should say this, but like, am I the only one that has an issue with choose your own adventure? You can slip through this fucking puddle and choose who you want to go. No, tell me a fucking story, dickhead.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. No, you do what everybody else does, where you play the entire game as one character first, then you go back. And
that's what I did.
Yeah,
is it? It feels so disjointed. And
it does. Yeah.
I hate Saga. I'm gonna beat through all her shit first, and then I'm gonna play the good part.
So I do the opposite of like me and Liz were just like the Alan Wake thing. We found way more compelling.
Yes,
but you're right.
I do. There is a lot to Saga's story that I think is cool, but again, because of the performance, I feel like a lot of it's hampered because it's like it feels so drab and dull.
And it does. The game,
and those segments are so much longer.
You do that musical number, and then the game comes to like an ass grinding halt once more, where you're like
musical. don't do that.
I'm sorry.
I gotta perform. I'm not ready. No, that's fine. Yeah, I mean,
all right. So what's your prediction?
My prediction?
Yeah, because you said RE4 was your personal pick.
Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, I don't know. To kind of keep going with what you were saying. Yeah, Alan Wake. I think man, I think back at these games and I think like action-y and adventure and like the puzzles and like combat and stuff. What was the least boring? You know what I mean? Because it's like I'm trying to pick those elements of those games out, and I was like, for me, maybe it's just like all the formulaic shit, and like it's not. I feel like they're all kind of guilty of this. I want to say I think Marvel has been the most fun.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's like been like. I mean, it's a freaking superhero game, so it's like really
that
hard
intro set piece is like wild. Like that game just goes.
And there's parts of it that I think are just like copy paste. But I mean, they're trying to jam that game full of a bunch of bullshit. But I mean, it does make me want to kind of be like a completer.
But speaking of pacing, just chef's kiss. That game is so well paced.
Yeah,
especially for an open world game.
Yeah.
It is so well paced.
Yeah, and you're telling me that, hey, it's this guy's turn now. You forgot you've been using this, like, you've been using Peter too long.
Mm-hmm.
But both stories are so much fun, and that's not this category. So I'm going to say Spider-Man is my personal choice.
Okay.
And Tears of the Kingdom, something about Breath of the Wild did not hook me.
No, me neither.
This game fully did.
Okay.
So that's not a really like a nod. That game's systems and everything, it's like, I think this wins almost assuredly because of the level of like choose your own adventure that it is.
Yeah.
It's the most choose your own adventure, I think, game of all time.
Can you do me a favor? Reread the blurb they have for describing this category.
Sure.
Because this is very important.
Okay. Sorry, I had the next one up, and Jeffy Boy's site is like...
I didn't know.
No, good. For the best action-adventure game combining combat with traversal and puzzle solving.
Okay, so here's the problem.
I guess Tears of the Kingdom, if you think about it, is combat, traversal, and puzzle solving.
Here's the problem. We're talking about combat, traversal, and puzzle solving.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. The combat in Zelda, as much as I love it, not that great. The traversal, fine. The puzzle solving, masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
The traversal in Spider-Man, masterpiece. The combat, great. The puzzle solving, serviceable.
Yeah, man.
Alan Wake can go fuck itself.
Yeah.
The puzzle solving in Resident Evil 4, masterpiece. The combat, great.
Yeah.
The traversal, non-existent. It's a third-person shooter. And then Jedi Survivor.
Isn't that more of an RPG? It's a Souls game.
No, here's the thing I want to bring up about Jedi Survivor is the first one is a Souls game, and the second one is too, but they were like, wait a minute, what if we took a Souls game and added the traversal of an Uncharted?
Okay.
And like the puzzle solving of like a Tomb Raider.
Towards the end of the first one, you got to that. And then it definitely ramped up in this one.
That's the best thing I've heard.
Did you played it?
Played both.
Okay. You remember the fucking part with the teleporting when you learn how to teleport?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Like a better set piece than some Uncharted set pieces, and I don't say that lightly.
Right.
So I don't fucking know. I'm going to say, first off, I'm going to say my prediction. I am going to make this boring and say Tears of the Kingdom, because how could it not be?
Right.
Of all of these games, it's weird because I want to say
the genre awards are tough, because if you see things that are nominated for Game of the Year also
because of these games, the best game is Zelda. But do I consider Zelda in the same league as the rest of these? I don't, because it's mostly a puzzle game to me.
That's fair.
Open world puzzle game.
Right? And so like I'm going to go, man, if Jedi Survivor ran at 60 frames.
Yeah. Tell me about
just
it.
imagine.
Tell me about it.
Are they working on it?
I think they are. I think they patched it recently.
Yeah, they might have even accomplished it. But
it also runs at lower than 720p. It's such a shame.
Talk about being a stick in my craw.
That game would be like maybe top 5 for me if it wasn't for the performance. It's so bad.
Yeah, it definitely hampered my entire experience, which sucks because it hasn't been a game
I wanted to acknowledge it. The reason I'm not picking it for my personal is because of the performance. Because guess what? You need fucking 60 FPS for Souls-like combat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, it was such a pain in the ass trying to figure out what combination of performance mode and like all these different.
Despite the fact that I think Zelda is a better video game overall, I'm gonna agree with Sean and go with Spider-Man for my personal pick.
All right. In terms of like that category,
of that category,
those 3 elements.
Yeah.
So most longest, I mean, best.
They put a wingsuit in it.
Role playing game.
Awesome. I've always wanted to be a flying squirrel.
Yeah, me too.
Far Cry, yeah.
That's true.
Best RPG for the best game designed with rich player character customization and progressions, including massively multiplayer experiences. But there's none of those on here. Oh no, there is. Oh no, there isn't. Sorry, I've my Roman numerals. So it's Baldur's Gate 3, Final Fantasy 16, Lies of P, Sea of Stars, and again in its sole nomination is Starfield.
The answer and the only winner can be Starfield. Do you want to know why I know this? It's because Bethesda told me it was.
Oh, your Steam comment got a response.
Hey, yeah, these guys are out there fucking.
Todd Howard wouldn't lie to you.
Yeah, no, and he certainly
were the
wouldn't.
Astronauts bored when they landed on the moon?
He certainly wouldn't. Actually, me in the Steam reviews and be like, "This is going wrong." You know what I mean?
That's awesome.
Oh my god.
That said, Starfield is my pick.
Is it?
Yeah, my personal pick.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've already said my piece.
The only reason is just because it's the only RPG on here that's not like a hardcore high fantasy. And I'm not into that.
I just want to say, why the fuck is Lies of P in here?
Yeah.
What is the difference? We talked
between
about
that
this
and
before.
Jedi Survivor?
On this podcast, we talked about when Sekiro got nominated in 2019.
Oh, yeah,
like, that was action-adventure, but, like, Dark Souls is, like... Or Dark Souls is action-adventure, Sekiro's action, and Lies of P is RPG. The fuck are you talking about?
They don't know how to...
They're all the same fucking game. Yeah. Like, I don't...
Don't you... Isn't...
Well, game genres are, are nonsensical.
But they're right. That's the thing. They're finally right, because Souls-like games are more RPGs than Final Fantasy 16 for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah. In the spirit of the category, it has to be Baldur's Gate 3. Because Baldur's Gate 3 is literally based on the original role-playing game.
Is this going to be... Is this going to... Yeah. I was gonna say, is this a mulligan if that's just everybody's bets? Like, is that that's the center square of the bingo board?
Yeah. I mean, we just did a mulligan with Tears of the Kingdom for all of them in action adventure. Those are the 2 front runners for Game of the Year. So why wouldn't they win their respective genre categories? You know,
right? Yeah. No, I agree, and it's funny because like this is gonna sound like a stupid question. Is the main character Pinocchio? Is it his lies that we're trying to figure out? Because I think it should be Lies of the G.
Yeah,
Mr. Geppetto.
It is
Lies of G.
Well, no, it's about his lies because you got to lie and then your nose grows.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. That game.
Then it's on Pornhub.
That game I think has the best loading screen of the year, where it says "Prepare to Lie" instead of "Prepare to Die."
I do like the mechanic of like a choice-based game where you can do whatever the fuck you want, but your nose grows when you lie, and then the more you lie, people just know you're a liar because your nose is big.
Yeah. Can you use it as a sword if it gets long enough?
I don't think so, but that'd be dope.
That would have been a great mechanic in whatever the...
Why didn't he just break and sand his nose down?
Or chop it off?
I don't think it's made of wood in Lies of P.
Oh, that's a problem.
He's a robot.
Cool.
I'm a robot.
Yeah.
I like robots.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's a Grandma's Boy reference. That's so old. Anyway,
and also just one more time to say, like, there will be loads more discussion of Starfield
and Baldur's Gate and Final Fantasy.
Starfield, especially because it's such a conflicting experience. It's a very divisive one. So there's a lot. Good and bad to get into that one.
Like I said,
this is so.
They told me so.
Personal.
Oh well, then that
I want to say personal experience, I'm going to go Baldur's Gate for personal choice. But I just want to say that Final Fantasy is very close, and I'm only not saying it because it's not a fucking RPG. It's a Devil May Cry game, and I fucking love Devil May Cry. It's the second best Devil May Cry game that came out this year. The first one's Hi-Fi Rush. But but also, like, Starfield is so frustrating, man, because it's really good when it's really good, and it's really bad when it's really bad. So it has to be Baldur's Gate for personal, but shout outs to the other two because they're not far behind.
Yeah. Yeah,
if Starfield had been made more competently, I would definitely be putting it over Baldur's Gate here.
Yeah, if they didn't want that back of the box title so badly about infinite space.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, we get it.
Yeah.
A loading screen doesn't mean that there's like miles in between it.
Yeah.
And I know technically that engine, there is, but like, I'm gonna fucking use the loading screen because you're out of your fucking mind. No, fast travel is not an option.
Yeah.
It's the only option.
Yeah.
I can't wait till that one guy.
They're adding in maps.
Oh, God. Just end it. No. I'm fighting the resistance of influence from the reviews because I've been told it's the best role-playing game this year by Mr. and Mrs. Bethesda from their, Windows 95 computer.
You're going to vote against him with betting on Baldur's Gate?
It is Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it is.
It is Gate. Like this is what are we talking about here? But yeah, I mean that's it. I don't know. If I had to pick, it's Lies of P.
Okay.
But who is P?
Pinocchio.
Yeah, no, but are we? I don't know. I have to play the game. I would have loved if it was Liza G.
I'm going to see who gets all the heart points. Then. Best fighting game, pretty self-explanatory. For the best game designed primarily around head-to-head combat. So God of Rock, don't know what that is. Mortal Kombat 1, not to be confused with the original Mortal. No.
The first Mortal Kombat game?
Yeah, that's the very first one. Nickelodeon.
Why isn't this in best debut indie? That's crazy.
Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl 2.
Yeah,
Pocket Bravery. I wasn't familiar with that one either. And Street Fighter 6.
Here's where Randy says his personal pick, which is wrong. Go ahead.
MK1.
Mortal Kombat.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. Street Fighter 6 is so good, dude.
Can you rip anyone's spine out?
No, you don't have to. But you can play a crazy, weird lady that poisons people by poking them in the spine with her long fingernails. It's real creepy looking.
Is RoboCop in it?
Is RoboCop in MK1? No, they have Omni-Man.
Yeah, two Superman stand-ins.
Don't pull that shit on me. Because they fucked that up in this game.
They fucked the guest characters up.
Yeah.
I know. I mean, here's the thing, though.
Street Fighter 6, that's my answer.
All right, well,
I'm just going to get out of the way.
We've already talked at length about how you grew up a Street Fighter kid. I grew up a Mortal Kombat kid. And I admit that Street Fighter 6 is longer legs and is probably a better... but MK1 has that NetherRealm story, and
I know.
And Street Fighter 6's single campaign apparently was fine.
I grew up alone.
It's just like the mechanics of it as a fighting game.
It writes Mortal Kombat
Mortal Kombat is not fair. Because MK11 is the best Mortal Kombat game I think they've ever made,
and this is a step down from that.
And this is a huge step down from that for me.
I don't like the Marvel vs. Capcom.
Street Fighter 5 one aside because it's bad. Street Fighter 5 is probably the worst Street Fighter game they've ever made, and this is a huge step forward.
It is.
And I understand that the starting points
and not
are
just gameplay, but artistically too. Like it's got an awesome.
But Street Fighter 6 is just so fucking good, dude.
Yeah. And MK1 also not the best roster they've had.
And Street Fighter 6's roster is
so I'll give that. But I mean,
I'm sorry. Does anybody
personally my bias is still with my allegiance is with Mortal Kombat, but my bet is Street Fighter 6.
Okay.
I'm not gonna make this interesting. I'm sorry, but does anybody else find it funny that Nickelodeon All Star Brawl I guess the publisher.
I kind of forgot that.
Is Game Mill Entertainment. They're just
yes,
churning shits out.
They made Lord of the Rings Gollum, right? And the King it is the King Kong one?
They made the King Kong game, and they're also made that Walking Dead game that's coming out that looks really shitty.
I heard about that.
Yeah, they have the most appropriate name in publishing history.
They
are such a game mill, dude.
Yeah.
That's so
is
funny.
Is their logo just a butt?
No, it's a gear.
Oh, that's even.
Yeah, they're churning, baby.
They're churning.
Oh, what
they got a night shift just to make sure that fucking thing's running.
Yeah.
I don't know. Pocket Bravery, probably the best thing to happen to fighting games since a fucking punch button. I don't know. God of Rock, who fucking knows? I mean, unfortunately, we're all AAA pilled in this room, apparently, and
I mean, when it comes to fighting games, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
If Andrew was here, he did in fact tell us all about Pocket Bravery and God of Rock when these got announced. And sorry, Andrew, I forgot what you said.
Well, he would still vote. He would still vote for Street Fighter 6.
He would. Proxy prediction. Andrew would say Street Fighter 6. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But God of Rock is the music rhythm fighting game that he told us about, which sounded pretty cool. All but right. I'm not gonna buy an indie fighting game.
Nope.
Yeah.
So.
I like music.
Mortal Kombat for the fatalities and Street Fighter 6 because it's smart. Personal Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. All right.
Prediction Street Fighter 6.
Another one.
You guys are wrong.
So, and this is the other side of the same coin. Best family game, the Nintendo category.
Mortal Kombat 1.
For the best game appropriate for family play, irrespective of genre or platform.
I got a problem with this fucking category.
I do as well.
Yeah, same.
So Disney Illusion Island, Party Animals, Pikmin 4. Not a family game. It's literally a strategy.
No.
Yeah.
Just because it's rated E does not make it a family game.
But it is for everyone.
Just because Nintendo
sure.
fucking
It's also not a multiplayer game. Like, it's not.
It does have multiplayer.
Does it have co-op?
Yes.
For 2 people?
I believe so.
I think so. Almost.
Yeah.
How small is your family? Because then it's Sonic Superstars and Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and we should say that Mario Brothers Wonder, Superstars, and Disney Illusion Island are all 4-player side scrollers that like varying levels of difficulty or whether or not it hinders the experience or makes it better. And Party Animals is like a minigame collection, right?
No, Party Animals is Gang Beasts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
it's not a minigame collection, though. I'm just saying it's just Gang Beasts.
No, it's just beat the piss out of everybody.
It's just beat each other. It's a beat 'em up. Multiplayer beat 'em up.
I kind of hate that game for aping off of Gang Beasts style and like physics so much. It's like
that's fair.
Very unapologetic.
Yeah,
because we saw that at PAX. We played it. Yeah, and I was like, oh, they made Gang Beasts.
Randy,
like,
once again, the writing is in the company name. They recreate games.
Oh my god! It's
okay. Like these guys,
I didn't realize
these people are hiding in plain sight these days.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with what you said. Like, I mean, unless in Pikmin 4 you could have your kids be the Pikmin. I would have fun with that.
There's also competitive multiplayer in Pikmin.
What's a time attack or
they had that
shit?
too.
It's a time attack, yeah.
Not a fucking family game.
I am going to say that I have not played Sonic Superstars or Disney Illusion Island yet.
We have played Mario Wonder, which this is where
it gets worse when you play it multiplayer.
Right, that's I mean it is a
so
better
game
to play by yourself.
Yeah.
And the online mode is also different than the local.
It always and infinitely has been. With
that's
Mario,
true.
With Mario games
yeah,
that
no,
aren't,
that's yeah. No, you're 100% right.
Like
I've
Cappy, really?
Yeah.
When you get subjugated as the Cappy,
you collect
in your
these
family,
star bits.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'll go
Functionally,
first.
that game doesn't work if you give it to a
Super Mario Wonder is my prediction.
Mine too.
Because everybody's brains are broken, and again, I'm betting against people I want to lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's Mario build these days.
Yeah, for sure. And then I'm gonna say personally, even having not played it, Disney Illusion Island, based solely on the fact that
they made a Metroidvania for kids.
It's a Metroidvania for kids that's co-op, which is really cool, and I like the art style.
Yeah, all right, I'm with you.
This is
that's kind of where I'm at as well.
I'm assuming neither of you have any experience with this offshoot Mickey and Friends.
No,
show.
I know it's based. My niece watches it.
I've seen.
My niece watches it.
It's insane.
Yeah,
it is nuts.
Yeah. It is literally.
It's almost wild that Disney is.
It's single-handedly making sure my 3-year-old has ADHD.
Yeah.
when I look back at these years, I'm not going to look at the genealogy or anything. I'm just going to go, that did it.
Yeah.
With that being said, I had no idea what it was. Mm-hmm. The fact that it's a castle, like it's a Castlevania or Metroidvania or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm playing the shit out of this.
Yeah.
I bought nobody.
I bought it. I bought it for my niece for Christmas just so I could try it.
Hell yeah. You take that back to GameStop. That was on the shelf. Make sure they give you your money back.
She is not going to understand a Metroidvania, and she's not going to play it, and then I'm going to steal it.
And it might be
good plan.
It might be you might shape her future.
Yeah, she might get super into Castlevania, and then I can show her Symphony of the Night.
And then
her mind.
Yeah, and then you could just be miserable that nothing will capture that.
And she'll finally learn that man is nothing but a miserable pile of secrets.
But enough talk.
Yeah.
Have at you.
Have at you.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's gonna be Bummerville 360. Right. I'm going Mario for my prediction.
Mario Plunder.
And yeah, again, you just opened my eyes. I'm gonna play this acid trip of a Mickey game.
Yep.
God,
so is that your personal?
Wild. Yeah,
that's mine too.
We're all doing the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
So wash.
Then we got an unusual amount of Nintendo representation here. Best simulation / strategy game. Best game focused on real-time or turn-based simulation or strategy gameplay irrespective of platform. What's our favorite sim? So there's Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp, remake of the two Game Boy Advance originals. City Skyline 2, brought to you by AI. Teeth in people's mouths. Company Heroes 3, Fire Emblem Engage, and Pikmin 4. It's interesting that Fire Emblem did not, like, usually those games get a lot more love. I don't think that was a particularly popular entry. I'm
just gonna say
I adored Company Heroes 1, and I never played 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. I don't think 3 is even made by the same people. Oh no, it is Relic. I don't know. I just never got around to it.
I think the gaming industry as a whole has kind of cooled their jets on Fire Emblem. I feel like
Fire Emblem ebbs and flows. 1 is amazing and 1 sucks. That's what happens every time, because they did the 3DS one, which was great, and then they did Fates, which nobody liked, and then they did Three Houses, which everybody liked, and then they did Engage, which nobody liked. Yep. They go back and forth.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
my pick is Advance Wars 1+2, just because I like the old ones. I didn't play this. Although
fair. I was going to ask.
Yeah, shout outs to Wargroove 2, which apparently came out, I think, not in time for this to be nominated.
Although I still am a little washy about the change in art style and direction with it. It's a bit too mobile game-esque for me.
I think it's just too Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's too it's too high fidelity for mobile. It's just like Nintendo's just like...
Well, I think there's a strategy with that, right?
The game that was finished 3 years ago, and then they delayed it because of the war.
They were like, this is how we got kids into strategy games before.
Yeah.
And it's like, now we just have to implement modern strategies, which is mobile game aesthetic, watered down.
Teach kids about war, though.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm into that. So that's my pick, and my bet is Pikmin 4.
Okay.
Yeah, it's this is kind of, I don't know. It's kind of a bummer. Like, I don't know. There's no hands in City Skylines for the AI to have fucked up. So add in additional fingers or whatever. And that's been a rocky release. I know that thing had a lot of issues.
and there apparently it still does.
Yeah.
They put out statements saying like, look, we're working on it, and you're like, well, you put it out. It's a game for sale. I don't know.
Right.
Like, it'll get there, and it's like, you could just...
Yeah, I don't know, and I don't have a lot of history with Company Heroes. It's like, I just look at these and
They're
think...
good.
Like,
squad-based RTS.
Since, like, the game industry is voting on this, I feel like what's going to have resonated most with, like, people in games industry. And again, bummer.
Might be
I don't want to go this route, but I want to shake it up. I want to be... I'm playing to win, though.
So you're doing Pikmin?
Yeah.
As your prediction? What about your personal?
My personal...
You just not
Advance Wars, because, teach kids about war.
All right. I am going to shake it up.
Okay.
I think that people don't care enough about performance, even though they say they do. So I think City Skylines is my prediction, and Pikmin 4 is my personal.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, out of all these games, the only one I really was like excited to play was City Skylines because of how masterfully, how masterfully the first game sunset. It was like all the expansions, and it kind of like recaptured that City Sim Builder. You know,
I mean, it was born out of the ashes of SimCity 2013,
right? And yeah, I don't know. Maybe they'll overlook that shit, but
So best sports / racing for the best traditional and non-traditional sports and racing game. Though 4 out of 5 of these are racing games, so that's awesome. There's EA Sports FC 24, which in other words is FIFA.
Arguably 5 out of 5 because he's racing to the ref to get a foul.
He's
or whatever.
sprinting in that picture. F1 23, Forza Motorsport, the reboot, Hot Wheels Unleashed 2 Turbocharged, and the Crew Motorfest. Shocking because every Crew game previously underperformed, and then apparently by all accounts this one's
Let
great.
me get out ahead of it and say that the Crew Motorfest is my personal choice. That game rules.
That's my personal choice as well.
It's better than Forza.
I haven't played any of these yet, but that's the one I'm most interested in.
Yeah.
I was not as impressed as everybody else with that first Hot Wheels Unleashed game, so I didn't touch this one. But my bet's
Forza.
Yeah.
Even though it's boring as shit.
Yeah.
I think that just the amount of money spent on it can do no.
No, you know what? Fuck it. This is where I'm gonna shake things up. I'm gonna say the Crew Motorfest.
For both?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Let's see.
Cool. We'll make it interesting because
it's the highest rated one.
Okay, dude.
Well, I'm just saying, I think
fair.
It has different expectations behind it.
Fair,
because people went into they're like, oh, another Crew game, who cares? And it's like, oh, this one's good actually.
Yeah, I don't know.
Forza seems so expected. Like that came out, and you're oh, it's exactly
right.
What
it's exactly what you expect. You know,
check out this. Check out this solid 8 out of 10. That's the game.
I think it's like a Grammy situation.
Yeah, it's the one that because people are voting on this.
People don't play enough racing games, and they're just going to be like, "Oh, Forza's probably good."
Yeah. I just feel like the amount of F1 information I was exposed to this year on social media platforms is influencing me right now.
That's my second behind Forza. I think.
Okay, cool. I'm going to go with F1 as my prediction. Actually,
okay, all right.
I'm going to go with the Crew because it's the most interesting.
Let's make one of the most boring categories the most exciting for us.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're completely spread across the category on this one.
Best multiplayer game presented by Discord, or for outstanding online multiplayer gameplay and design, including co-op and massively multiplayer experiences, irrespective of game genre or platform. Note that, like I said, it's online, so that's why there's never Jackbox in there. You know?
Yeah, this is weird.
Yeah, even what is it? Then there's such a difference between Mario Brothers Wonder's online and offline modes, so that being in here specifically has to mean that online mode and not the shit local. But there is Baldur's Gate 3, Diablo 4, Party Animals, Street Fighter 6, and Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Anybody invested in this category whatsoever?
Yes.
Yes?
The fact that Remnant 2 is not here
that's why I thought it was.
Humanity.
Yeah.
Especially because fucking Mario Wonder and Party Animals over Remnant. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, it is. It is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also multiplayer game. It's Street Fighter doesn't have an online lobby, right?
No, it does.
Oh, but it doesn't have the chibi guys you can run around with.
It doesn't have chibi guys, but you create a character and then you walk around in it.
Okay, so then that's fair.
Yeah.
My pick is Quake 2 Remastered. Because it has 8-player split screen.
You're lame. Old, apparently.
Dude, the Quake 2's has every you can play that game local and co-op and online all at the and
you can play it on your toaster if you want. That screen on your toaster. We're gonna just hook a Raspberry Pi up to that.
Hey, it's a feature rich remake. God damn it. Yeah, the Evil Dead game came out this. My pick is somebody else talk. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm doing Diablo 4 for both.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna say my pick is Diablo 4 because I like that you can play that locally still.
Yeah, it's got split screen.
Yeah. And that's fun. I'm glad they kept
that.
Right.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.
You play it
I keep thinking that Diablo 2 is gonna get the sequel that it deserved. But then there's co-op and
all right. My bet is Baldur's Gate 3 because it's D&D.
Yeah,
people have like.
So that's unfortunately kind of where I'm torn too. Is like, do I go with Diablo 4, which has been like kind of right after that initial launch, it was like the rockiest.
Everyone loved it, and then everyone turned on it.
Right, exactly. And now it feels like they're implementing the.
You know what? I'm changing my mind. I'm picking
What's
Diablo 4 personally, but I'm saying Street Fighter for my prediction because everybody hates Diablo now, and I get it.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think that's even. I don't think it's like factored in.
I do. There's people voting on it. They've been voting on it in like October. That game fell off real hard after like August.
No, I know, but I think from like a casual standpoint, which is like where most of like these game industry people are from, like I think the hardcore community, the PoE people that wanted to come back to Diablo were really hoping for this to be like a transitional thing where they could play both games at the same time. But I don't know. They've implemented a lot of changes. Maybe it's in a good place.
Hey, where's Counter-Strike 2?
That's a good point. It's in the esports or something.
It's also not a
new game.
Not officially. Technically early release.
Yeah.
Which,
that too is somehow even more not like.
Yeah, that's a fresh coat of paint. Well, a new engine, but anyway, just to keep it short and sweet. I'm torn because I think Diablo could win this.
Mm-hmm.
Go for Diablo. We can all have something different.
What did you pick?
Street Fighter.
You went with Baldur's Gate?
I did.
Yeah, I'll just double. Yeah, it's both picks. Whatever.
Diablo 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
It sucks because I fell off that game really hard. I was really enjoying it.
But it's so good. The campaign's so good.
Oh,
it's just the end game that sucks.
Sure, yeah.
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 Innovation and accessibility, recognizing software and or hardware that is pushing the medium forward by adding features, technology, and content to help games be played and enjoyed by an even wider audience. Diablo 4, Forza Motorsport, Hi-Fi Rush, Marvel's Spider-Man 2, Mortal Kombat 1, and Street Fighter 6. Interesting to see 2 fighting games in this category. This is gonna be the time that I don't vote for Hi-Fi Rush. My pick and my bet are Spider-Man 2 because I have seen some of the shit that you can manipulate in that game, and it's insane. You can just change the game to whatever speed that it gets played at. Yeah. You can remap all of the controls. It's
again another thing that
you can also make the swinging harder, which is awesome.
Yeah. And I love that, Hi-Fi Rush is finding ways to make a music rhythm game accessible to people that maybe aren't as in tune with that type of thing.
In tune. Nice.
That was
on beat, rhythmically inclined.
And Forza has been consistent. Microsoft is consistently good at that.
Yeah, Sony is consistently better at it.
Yeah, you're right.
That was
Forza's more that you can probably have all the racing wheels and shit.
Sure. If you have a car phobia, I heard you can turn all cars into spiders. Sorry. That's the grounded arachnophobia mode.
God, that's funny.
Sorry. That was the best joke you've made in a very long time. I just want you to know that.
Thank you.
Just imagine spiders.
Yeah, it's just spiders with wheels attached to them. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's the best thing that's going to come out about talking about this category. It's I mean, Sony is at the forefront.
You doing Spider-Man as well?
Yeah, unfortunately, unless Forza updates and adds Spider mode.
Mm-hmm.
Or anti-car mode. What is the fear of cars?
I'm gonna look it up.
It has.
There's it out there.
Yeah.
I mean, autophobia. A mechaphile is the opposite. That's people that want to fuck cars.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll never forget playing Returnal and having a stream on in the other window, and this guy's watching that guy who wants to make love to his car.
Yeah, he's kissing the bumper.
And then he showed the director pictures of his dick in the fucking exhaust.
You went that far, huh?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, interesting.
You ever see Titan though?
Titan?
Yeah, good movie.
No,
it's the
anything is it an offshoot of Christine?
It's a French horror. It's the woman that did Raw. She directed a movie about a girl that fucks a car, and it's a body horror film. She gets impregnated by the car, but also she's a serial killer.
Does she? Sorry, does she give birth to fucking clown cars?
Oh my god.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
No, it actually becomes kind of a heartwarming tale.
What's wrong with this conversation?
All right.
Maxophobia.
Maxophobia?
Maxophobia.
A Max.
Mad Maxophobia?
Maxophobia is fear of
That's
cars.
too close. Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm. So a relatively new addition, Best Adaptation, recognizing outstanding creative work that faithfully and authentically adapts a video game to another
category.
Entertainment medium. Yeah, it's a movie or TV show. Tetris got robbed.
I did. But
assholes.
it's another category where like
Three
come
Sony
on, we're gonna vote for the
I know
same
this is
annoying.
just as useless. It's even like So all right, Castlevania Nocturne, which is it the newest season or is it a spin-off?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a spin-off about Symphony of the Night.
Gran Turismo : based on a true story.
Still haven't seen it.
The Last of Us, the Super Mario Brothers movie, and Twisted Metal.
Based on a true story, you say?
Yeah. So Twisted Metal, not good. We finished it. Mario movie. This isn't the for the award that makes the most money. It's fucking going to go to the prestigious HBO show.
This category, funnily enough, will dictate whether or not the games industry has lost its fucking mind. At least when it comes to voting about these superfluous awards. Yeah. Because if Mario movie wins for any reason,
God.
I will be fucking enraged. You ever see a video of a guy punching his TV? Yeah. That'll be me that night.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and guess that we're all doing the Last of Us for both.
Yeah.
I could not get over that episode with Bill. And,
I know. That was incredible.
I will say I'm doing the Last of Us for both. But if this category is adaptation as a form of marketing, Mario wins in a landslide. Because the amount of children in my life now own a Switch after that movie, when the Switch had already sold 110 million consoles, is staggering.
Why is Twisted Metal on here?
It's an adaptation.
Nobody watches Paramount Plus.
It was really good. First of all, it's on Peacock.
Oh, Peacock. That's what I meant. Yeah. Paramount Plus is Halo.
Yeah, which is not in here.
The new season's coming out.
Even though it was last year.
Wasn't it at the very beginning of last year?
We don't have to talk about the Halo adaptation. I don't want to cry on a podcast.
You know what's funny? It came and went so quick.
You want to hear a really funny story? So, it's not going to start funny, but I was in a coma when the Halo TV show came out.
Are you sure?
Hilarious.
Are you sure?
And I had a lot of coma dreams when I was in a coma. Real. And one of the coma dreams I had was me watching
the
Halo TV show.
Oh.
And my coma brain wrote a better Halo TV show than the dude that got paid way more money than I'll ever make in my life to write that show.
The guy who made the show that actively says he doesn't like Halo.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
Maybe it was good hiring.
Maybe let's go back and like feed all these stories or like give AI a shot. Give AI a shot. That's what I'm saying. These writers are up in arms.
Have you seen that Silent Hill interactive game show thing? I think they are giving AI
Silent
a
Hill
shot.
Ascension, yeah. The berries, dude.
I'm gonna ascend my head into a vat of acid.
Ascend into acid? That's wild.
So then it's the category dedicated to only us gamers, or us consumers, or as Andrew calls it, the Hype Award. Mm-hmm. Most anticipated game. Or recognizing an announced game that is demonstrably
demonstrably illustrated.
Why can't I read that word?
That has demonstrably illustrated potential to push the gaming medium forward. Ran out of breath.
Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Hades Dose, Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth, Star Wars Outlaws, and Tekken 8.
Can we?
Which got pushed back.
Can we do an honorable mention of the Elden Ring DLC that is definitely coming next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because I just think keep that train going.
Other honorable mention is GTA 6 gets announced on Tuesday.
Listen,
dude, that'd be so funny if it gets a date for next year and it's just not in this category. Yeah,
right?
Listen,
Geoff Keighley, just come on, guys. It's GTA 6, and they just like rip it out of the fucking hands of Ubisoft.
He's pissed, by the way. He's like, I'm tired of this employee's kid leaking this shit online.
I said this on the update, dude. He's got to be so mad. Like that's, I know, to have the GTA 6 trailer come out 2 days before your event full of trailers is such a slap in the fucking face. I'm into that. Yeah, I mean, they can do it.
They're the only people.
They're the only people that can do it, but it's just so funny.
I could just see Geoff being on the phone.
It's like, come on, guys.
Why don't you want to be in it? 2 days ahead, that's like...
Dude, I will make $1 million off of just people watching on Twitch if you just say it's at the Game Awards.
Well, apparently...
Just give us a title card. Anything.
Yeah. Apparently, I was like watching some video. Apparently, they're doing away with the world premiere.
Yeah.
I do wonder if like maybe he gets it. Maybe they reveal it ahead of time and then he plays it again for people who haven't.
Hey, why not?
Who aren't as tuned in.
Or it'll just be this one has 10 more seconds.
So something like that.
Who knows? So of these 5, my pick is Star Wars Outlaws. I thought they had a really sick E3 showing. I'm very optimistic for that game.
I am so excited for that.
Me too. I mean, it's GTA Star Wars. So it's like, and also, as much as I love Hades 1, that was my game of that year. Hades 2 looks like more Hades, which is fine because Hades rules, but I already kind of know what it's going to be. I don't like. There's not a huge element of mystery behind it.
Yeah.
But
Yakuza
it looks fun and sexy.
The Yakuza series has wormed its way into my heart.
I loved 7, and I played the demo for Infinite Wealth,
a great character.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, that sucks because it is slowly creeping through everybody.
I mean, this is a good list because the Final Fantasy Rebirth is the Final Fantasy 7.
Both. I'm doubling up on Rebirth.
Yeah. I mean, they're touting that game, and this is Square Enix.
It's 2 discs.
Right.
Wild.
Yeah.
Then in
this day and age,
here's the thing:
the disc economy is getting thrown all out of proportion because of this.
So my pick is Star Wars Outlaws, but my bet is Hades 2.
Okay. Really?
Yeah.
A lot of people thirsting for those gods, huh?
Yep.
That was like the meme I posted where it's just like the bisexuals had theirs. It's the bisexuals' turn. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's gonna be a boring one again. Mine's Outlaws, personal pick.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so excited to see what that game's got. But
I hope it's good.
I gotta go with Final Fantasy.
Okay.
It's supposed to be revolutionary. I know because they told me so.
They wouldn't lie.
I can't trust Todd Howard. How did you release this game this way after you said it was the other way?
In Todd we trust. So after this is Player's Choice, which I believe
did you vote?
Yeah, he doubled up on. But Player's Voice is just open voting for like a like the top 30 titles of the year. So
real Whose Line Is It Anyway category.
Yes, we can skip that. Return back in a few weeks if you want to listen to our opinions as a group outside of these. Do we want to do best esports game or content creator? Just nah.
I'm literally looking at esports game and all that.
Because there's athlete, team, coach. I don't know.
Content creator of the year. People make games.
Yes. Yeah. And the esports event is forever.
There's always
Evo.
Yeah. I'll never not vote for Evo.
I think it wins this year.
That would be cool.
Because I don't think it has for like the last couple of years, right? It's always been like a TI or something. Yeah. Other old rapper.
HDQ should be on there.
It should.
Yeah.
It's technically not an esports event, but yeah.
I mean, speedrunning should be an esport.
The content creator thing is...
They should just give a fucking Lifetime Achievement Award to whoever started AGDQ. Like, honestly.
Yes, I agree.
Oh, I forget his name.
Also, it's so weird that people make games. They're like a benevolent like group as opposed to just like these random like streamers. I don't know. Well, not random. You know what I mean.
They're big.
So finally, we have Best Game Direction, or awarded for Outstanding Creative Vision and Innovation in Game Direction and Design. So there's Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Super Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, which I will note, I'll say right here and now that those are the 5 of the 6 games nominated for Game of the Year. The lastly, the highly coveted game of the year is just those and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Which I'm happy Resident Evil 4 squeaked in there, but
I'm glad they named it Super Mario Brothers Wonder, because I wonder why it's here. Is that a hot take? Having not played it?
We made that joke the other.
Which one?
We were talking about games that will stand the test of time, and I just said I wonder if people care about Mario Wonder in a year.
It's so I don't know. I can make this short and sweet. I think we're gonna talk in length about these two.
We probably are.
So you want to go first?
Yeah. So my pick and bet are Alan Wake 2. I think there's maybe it's the auteur kind of nature of it that it just seems like this seems directed. It feels like a vision of
definitely seems like they're trying to tell a really cool story, and then they hacked a fucking slunky game on the back of it.
Exactly.
My favorite part of that game, this is no joke, is the mine place and putting fucking postcards or pictures on the board.
That's my least favorite mechanic I've ever.
No, it's terrible, but it's funny because it's man, it's you're kind of forced to do it.
You are. I don't know if you noticed this, but this just goes with my direction thing.
Gotta find Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia.
This whole box is Pepe Sylvia. Not only do all of these people exist, but they've been asking where their mail is for weeks.
But the opening credits of the game, I've never seen a game do this, even like Metal Gear Solid or anything. It says screenplay.
Yeah,
is what instead of saying
nice catch.
The writing. Yeah, so I was just
turning my lights off. Must have missed that.
Yeah, so it says by Sam Lake and I forget. It's two people.
I don't know.
But my point is,
Christina Weaver.
Or
Cynthia Weaver. That's one of the old ladies in the old
the cinematicness of that game leads me to believe that it will also win. So that is my pick and bet.
Yeah, I think you might be the curveball here, but I just think with the mixed media and all that, and I'd be hard pressed to not feel like. I mean, obviously it's the year of the gate, so Baldur's Gate to be exact. So I don't, and I think it's very. I do think it's innovative because of everybody told me so.
You seem like you have trouble forming your own opinions.
No. I just why think when everybody else can think for me?
That's fair.
Why
does the internet exist if I have to form my own opinions?
Yeah, it's a toss up, honestly, because I think what they're doing in Alan Wake 2 is very innovative and interesting and awesome. So, how cool is the CRPG? The cool RPG. I'm gonna go Alan Wake double up.
All right.
I'm gonna make it interesting because we talk about this all the time. What does game direction mean? It's not the same as movie direction.
Sure it is.
Not. And I do agree with your point that Alan Wake 2 feels more like a singular vision than Baldur's Gate or Zelda does.
Yeah.
But game design is a part of game direction. And none of these games are better designed than Zelda. So I'm doubling up on Zelda.
Damn.
All right.
That's a good point.
And so here we go.
Also because Zelda has to get something, and it's not going to be the next category.
No?
Well, it might be. But
so Game of the Year, recognizing a game that delivers the absolute best experience across all creative and technical fields. And it's the 5 you just heard, and Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
So Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Mario Brothers Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda. The Queen is dead.
No, she lives. I mean, I'm assuming.
No, he's referencing.
But they delayed
the trailer when the Queen died in Britain because it's called Tears of the Kingdom.
I wish you could see the face on it. Lizzie's in a box. Hey, Lizzie's in a box.
My pick is Sci-Fi Rush, and
that's not here.
Not here.
Are you sure?
Yep. Positive.
Oh.
I mean,
maybe we can scroll down.
Yeah, we could swap it out for Wonder if you want. I'd be fine with that.
Of these 6, mine is RE4, and my
so insane.
Fuck you. Hey, it beat Final Fantasy 16, Diablo, and Sea of Stars.
Listen, we don't have to get into it, but that's also insane.
They obviously have an issue with categorizing things.
Well, look, maybe somebody was like, we should put a game on here that's not 50 hours long. Huh?
Last year, me would have agreed with you. I'm a whole new man.
I'm a whole new man now. Elden Ring has changed me.
Yeah.
Y'all got dragons in your brain.
Yeah.
My bet is Baldur's Gate 3.
Well, no shit. Alan Wake 2 is not that long, and neither is Spider-Man.
Alan Wake 2 is over 20 hours.
So is Spider-Man, but that's not that long compared to Baldur's Gate 3
and
Zelda.
No, it was no open world games either.
Except for it's almost like people prefer a curated experience. Baldur's Gate is kind of open world, but it is definitely.
No, I'm just
it's open zone.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Baldur's Gate 3 is also my prediction. Although, actually, are you gonna say? Are you saying Baldur's Gate 3?
So it's annoying because it's for me. It's a toss up. It's
I think
Tears of the Kingdom or
I think it's more. I know I just said that there's no shot Zelda wins. I think it's more of a toss up than people are letting on because of the way voting works. Is like Baldur's Gate 3 is like this weird thing where people treat it as an underdog to the point where I cannot actually tell whether it's like a cult favorite or just a favorite.
Right. Well, did you hear recently people have been discussing like that Tears of the Kingdom and Baldur's Gate both share a huge audience, and
that makes
they're
sense.
saying that they might split the vote and then Alan Wake will somehow win.
So then we'll just call for a recount.
Yeah. I mean, I'm saying
voting machines.
That would be crazy, but I'm just saying it's not impossible.
That's not impossible. There's no way I'm voting for Alan Wake 2.
No, although that's not. But you know how the voting works, though, is it's like people choose the order, and then that's how it gets decided.
So if it's enough third places,
yes,
Alan's gonna
bronze his way to first place. Yeah,
I do think it will. I don't know. I think there is a legitimate shot that we are so in a bubble that the wide berth of voting might just lead to more people saying Zelda.
Right.
Because I think that while Baldur's Gate 3 is super successful, and I'm not saying it's not, and while it is amazing, and I'm not saying it's not, I just think that we forgot. Zelda held the public's consciousness.
I'll never forget 9/11.
I know.
Here's the thing, you're totally right, but this is what I'm talking about with recency bias, though. It's
I understand that, but Zelda held the public's consciousness in a firm grip for months until Baldur's Gate came out.
Hey, you know what held it longer? Resident Evil 4. That game came out in March.
But people weren't posting about it in the same way.
Yeah.
Can we agree that the correct answer for both of these categories is Tears of the Kingdom for best game and Baldur's Gate for best direction? Those are the no. I'm actually surprised because I think with actually, if you inverse it, didn't think of it that way.
Yeah. Best direction is weird. I like if I was to say, if I was to personally say, I know I said Zelda, but Alan Wake, if it was to get anything.
Oh, it's best direction.
It's best direction because of the singular vision thing, but the problem, the weird thing about Zelda and Baldur's Gate is that they are so different. However, people love them for the same reason.
Right.
It's all emergent gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same exact problem quotes that Elden Ring had, where it's it kind of treats you like you're not stupid in a world where video games treat you like you're stupid.
Are you talking about both?
I'm talking about both, yeah.
Right.
And Elden Ring. To the point where it doesn't baby you or treat you like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
In a way that it's just mechanics driven, and it's just here's the mechanics, we threw some shit in there, have fun.
Yeah.
In the same way that a GTA would, right?
Yeah, it's what's truly fascinating about Baldur's Gate 2 is here's mechanics. You don't know how shit works. You don't know what you can do. Can you if you understand the rules of the world that you're living in, there is a lot of like, I'll dex check for this in D&D that I don't think a lot of normies that have played this game now would have ever probably even discovered interactions in that game that are truly fascinating. Because there is definitely like a layer underneath the surface where it's like if you have an understanding of D&D and like certain checks in that game or what your powers do and stuff like that, I think unfortunately it is buried beneath the surface.
But at the same time, I hate Dungeons and Dragons, and the thing, no,
So
I hate its popularity,
Right?
Because it's been around for so long, and now people are like coming out of the woodwork, and I'm happy that people are comfortable. I'm happy that people are comfortable letting their nerd flag fly, but I got beat up a lot for liking shit like that as a kid, and I can't let it go as much as I try. So like.
I peed myself a lot for that.
I literally got beat up for liking Ocarina of Time. Jesus. And so, like, you can't, like...
Oh, nobody, like...
Would you grow up in the hood?
No, I grew up in Washington.
I got relentlessly mocked for being a Star Wars kid, and now it's like,
I know. I mean,
that's same with comics.
That's the thing. Like, D&D kids have had it rough for a very long time, but now...
Space soap opera, man. That's all it is.
I don't like how...
Mom was watching Young and the Restless. You were watching
maybe they were right to throttle me after where the Star Wars came out lately.
Listen, you never deserved that swirly.
It's a thing where, like, my personal pick with a bullet is Zelda.
Same.
But the thing I'm trying to figure out is whether or not Zelda being Zelda will carry it to victory, or Baldur's Gate being perceived as like the underdog to Zelda will carry it to victory.
Matt mentioned like, and I don't know how similar you feel to this, but I'm sure this will come up in our stuff. Our game of the year, but it's Zelda, like Breath of the Wild felt like it came out of nowhere, and that was such a crazy, weird, risky thing that a lot of people responded to. Some purists didn't, but for the most part, like one of the most acclaimed games of the generation, if not of all time. And it's like, is this just... Everyone was like, well, that game almost felt like a blueprint for this game. Like, this is what they always wanted to make.
I use the same
argument. Like, that makes it less special, but it makes it more refined.
I use the same argument that we used when we were talking about God of War Ragnarok, where it's like, when God of War Ragnarok was announced, I was super worried because I really liked the God of War thing.
Yeah,
and I was like,
you want it to be unique.
Can they do that again? And then after playing it, I was like, no, that felt like a proof of concept.
Like a prologue to that.
A prologue to Ragnarok. Breath of the Wild feels like a proof of concept to Tears of the Kingdom. I think that Tears of the Kingdom is just better in every way, every conceivable way.
But that doesn't.
But a little bit of the magic is gone.
It does inherently make the splash smaller. It doesn't. It's not.
But there's the
quality of the game. And
in an argument to its credit, there is a new magic that is there. A new magic that sucked in people like you who didn't like.
Yeah, like
I've had so many people ask me when I talk about Tears of the Kingdom, like, I never played Breath of the Wild. Should I play that first? And I'm like, you don't have to. And I don't.
I was
think
going
you
to
should.
try to, yeah.
Because if
you play the better version,
if the narrative set up, sure.
If it didn't hook you, this game will hook you, but not in the same way. And I think that's the magic of Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And I think that it just feels like an evolution that was surprising.
I think it's interesting a point you made where you're like, I don't know if this is the best game of the year or if the underdog story comment you made, where it's like you don't know if it is a true underdog story or something, or if it is just
because
like
people pick underdogs,
right?
Like Baldur's Gate feels like the underdog to Zelda, but I think people will vote for it because they think
and
that
it's also an expectation versus reality thing.
Yeah, I know, but like I'm saying, like people feel like they're like, no, we're not gonna let Nintendo win. We have to let Larian win. But like, I feel like Larian.
In that case, I am kind of campaigning for them. Like it's
Larian's
sure
winning the hearts of people. Well,
but it's this weird thing where it is perceived as being lesser than Zelda, but I don't think it is. I think more people have a love for Baldur's Gate than have for Zelda because of that, and I think that will carry it to victory.
Between the two, that one of them is more focused on storytelling, but.
I mean, the surprise of Baldur's Gate is like
That's what I mean.
The depth
It's
of its
weird.
story.
It's weird because on the one hand, you say like Baldur's Gate, like you say like Zelda is missing some of the magic, and it's this weird thing where like there are people out there who I've talked to who are like, where y'all motherfuckers been? Because Baldur's Gate 3 is just Divinity Original Sin 2 with D&D stuff thrown in.
I have seen that. Yeah.
And like this game has existed for so long. Larian has been making this game for so long. People just caught on now because it's licensed.
The branding. That's attached.
Yeah.
But it's also not licensed. That's the crazy thing. I made this joke before, but it's like, people are like, oh man, Zelda's like this big thing. And it's like, Dungeons and Dragons is almost bigger.
Yeah.
It's just not called Dungeons and Dragons : Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
So people are like, this came out of nowhere. And it's like, it's funded.
This was planned.
It's funded by Wizards of the Coast, who are a more awful company than Nintendo. And I say,
true.
I do not say that lightly.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Nintendo has a lot of problems that I have a lot of problems with Nintendo, I should say, but they didn't send the Pinkertons after a dude for opening magic cards.
They are arguably worse than the, what was it, CIA or FBI introducing crack to a impoverished community.
Well,
it's cardboard crack.
I wouldn't say that.
There's
necessarily, you know.
Hey,
they're a corrupt bunch of motherfuckers.
I'm just happy to see 2 survival horror games.
They're like 2 levels below MK Ultra.
Okay.
Yeah. And like 4 levels below faking 9/11.
That's
but,
true.
you know.
So, I'm just happy to see 2 survival horror games in the running. That's cool.
It's great.
You don't see that often.
I mean, like,
hey man, big budget horror. I've said this before. Like, I got problems with Alan Wake, but like,
me too.
But
I also fucking I can't stand horror as a genre in video games because Resident Evil is right there. And even if you steal from it and make it a worse version of that, it's still better than most horror games.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah,
because I like horror as a genre, but I prefer video games to movies because of the immersion, because of the interactivity.
Yeah. And you know my feelings on Returnal. That's a horror game. Whether or not
it's pretty spooky.
And there were generally parts that I was unsettled in Alan Wake in a way, like.
Yeah, that first boss fight is.
I think Alan Wake is a better horror game than Resident Evil 4.
Everybody knows that the original RE4 was the hard pivot the series took from horror to action for a few years, or a few, you know.
We can all agree Mario Wonder can go fuck itself.
Yeah.
Oh, is that in here still?
Yeah.
I wonder
we can all
what
agree.
It's doing in this category.
Yeah, I wonder why it's in here.
Watch that win.
There's no way. People will riot
out there.
If anything, Super Mario RPG, but that's.
I think it released too late.
I find it more annoying. Like Zelda, the weird thing about Nintendo is that Zelda is deserved. Zelda deserves to be here. It is an incredible fucking game. Yeah. Nintendo did amazing work on that game.
And you're not gonna let its younger brother like hang out?
No. Fuck you. So, Nintendo got it. Like I understand people being like, no, fuck Nintendo. Baldur's Gate deserves to win, and I don't agree. But I almost agree. Like, I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
There are so many companies that deserve, companies and studios that aren't like even indie studios, like that deserve to be here over Nintendo being here twice.
Agreed.
Like, if you're not going to give Baldur's Gate 2 nominations for performance, don't give Nintendo 2 nominations for Game of the Year. Fuck that.
Yeah.
They made a good game this year.
The Diver here.
Sure, it's better. I agree. Like it.
Wonder is still too close to New Super Mario Brothers for me. I'm never gonna like those physics.
I mean,
and I'm an undying fan of the original 2D Mario.
Fuck it. Like, if you're going to give a company 2 spots in Game of the Year, take Mario Wonder out and put Street Fighter in there. Because my problem,
seeing a fighting game nominated for Game of the Year would be
because my only problem with Resident Evil being nominated is not that it's a remake; it's that Capcom made, in my eyes, a better game this year, and it's Street Fighter 6. But also Resident Evil deserves to be here. So don't take Resident Evil out and put Street Fighter. Take Mario Wonder out and put Street Fighter.
I think the impossible hill to climb is that like fighting games are still too specific. It's the same with racing games or sports games. Like, it's like there was an era when Tony Hawk games were getting nominated for Game of the Year, when Soul Calibur was getting nominated for the Game of the Year, or like. You know, it's like that those days are done.
Yeah,
you know,
but platformers are dog shit, dude.
Yeah,
Burnout's never gonna get I don't know. Like
platformers are like. I feel like that's making games on baby mode. I don't know. Maybe that's a hot take.
I like platformers. I really do.
If they're done right.
I don't. There's only so much that you can.
I'm just trying. I'm not trying
do
to
with the formula.
I'm not trying to smack down platformers. I'm just saying, in terms of like how hard a game is to make, fighting games are harder to get right than platformers are.
I don't disagree.
I feel like Capcom deserves their just desserts or whatever the phrase is for
Kirby
fucking
Car
Street Fighter.
Didn't impress you enough? They went with Mario Elephant. I'm over it.
And Bowser.
I hate that elephant design.
Bowser really wants.
Stupid sprite is too big.
Yeah, but Bowser really wants to fuck
or not
Elephant
sprite,
Peach
but
or whatever.
The character model.
I don't know if you saw that.
On that note, all right. So let's just one last time say so going around.
I haven't decided yet.
Yeah. So but my pick is RE4. My bet is Baldur's Gate 3.
All right.
My pick is Tears of the Kingdom. My prediction is Tears of the Kingdom.
All right. Where are you at, Austin?
I wanted to say that Nintendo apparently during the development of Breath of the Wild, they had most of these systems in place already, but the Switch was not. It wasn't ready. It wasn't powerful enough, so they held off.
The Wii U powerful,
and they went.
That's the other thing.
They went and they took that flat plane, and then they went up and down, and they said 2 more planes for you to explore.
You see the hard drive article that came out and it says GTA 6 map is just going to be a GTA 5 map, but with the cloud and the underground.
That'd be great. That's the right kind of influence.
I will say also that Baldur's Gate 3, for how amazing it is falling apart constantly on every platform.
Technically.
Even if you have a really good graphics card. And Tears of the Kingdom runs really, really well on what is essentially a Barnes & Noble Nook tablet.
True.
So
I can't wait to get the upgraded version.
Kudos to Nintendo there as well for making that fucking physics simulation work, but also kudos to Baldur's Gate for making their physics simulation work as well as it does, because it's the amount of things that game is simulating all at once is wild.
Yeah, and they just released like an epilogue.
I'm going to say... I'm glad Sean went first, because I'm going to say that Baldur's Gate. I think Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, it's
my prediction is Baldur's Gate.
It's the year of the gate.
My choice is Zelda.
I would not be surprised if Baldur's Gate won.
If it leans in your direction, though.
I
could.
I sincerely believe that Tears of the Kingdom is the better game.
I do too.
Then out of nowhere,
Baldur's Gate made me want to break my controller.
Yeah. No, that little
didn't.
Bill Clinton kid's gonna come up and give the envelope for Hi-Fi Rush.
Excuse me, sorry. Can we investigate Bill Lincoln?
That little shit stain. So that's our bids. It looks like Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 are leading the pack with 8 noms each, followed by Spider-Man 2 with 7. My boy Hi-Fi Rush nabbed 5, same as Mario and Zelda.
Good on him.
Yeah, so I'll take it. But yeah, we will find out soon what to expect. Not a lot of presenters like the bands of celebrity appearances teased yet. Maybe they're toning that shit down after Christopher Judge kept poor old Al Pacino standing for 20 minutes straight. We know the orchestra will be back, of course.
So what you're saying is his new child was conceived with him laying down.
Yeah.
Got it. Noted. Okay.
Was that up for debate?
I don't know.
There were a couple other factors we didn't address to avoid this getting too lengthy. There are complaints of snubbing for Chained Echoes or Octopath Traveler 2 in the Turf game, whatever.
What's Chained Echoes?
It was like an RPG that came out in December last year, and apparently has a large.
Right, that's why I've heard of it.
Community.
Yeah, who cares?
They're mad.
JRPG fans. JRPG fans are only happy for the 2 weeks after a Persona game comes out, and then the rest of the time they're mad. So who cares?
Yeah, I'm sure. On Sonic forums, people are up in arms.
Oh no, that's not true. They're mad for or they're happy for 48 hours after a Xenoblade game comes out, and then they're like, "Why are more people talking about this?" And you're like, "Because it's Xenoblade." And they're like, "Grr." So that's the other time.
Yeah, Shulk, bro.
Yeah,
I think, or something.
No, Shulk hasn't been involved in a while. It's the booby ladies now.
Ooh,
from Smash. Yeah,
I'm gonna check these games out.
Yeah. I missed my chance at that amiibo.
Me too.
That's the one I don't have.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess we're done. December 7th, we got our tickets to the Peacock Theater. Our flight is leaving.
And I'm figuring out ways to duck security.
Yeah, we got to meet that stupid Bill Clinton kid and raid the stage.
Yeah, I'm going to go up on stage and start talking about Al Gore.
He's on site, right? Like, he's on site.
They got armed guards now.
He's got to have a good prosthetic.
Somebody already did that joke.
What?
Which one?
It was like an E3 award show where they wasn't there? There was another award show.
No, that little moron showed up numerous times.
There was another presentation where they had like a fake version of that come on stage. It was like an E3 presentation.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Gonna run that.
Yeah, is Geoff gonna do a bit about it?
I'm sure he will, but there's also going to be like
business. Okay?
I don't know.
There's going to be like Russian mobsters with assault rifles standing in front of the stage. So
all right, my guess is or my prediction here is that it's gonna be one joke cracked by him, but it's gonna be like a very quick, sly, like like nervous, like a nervous laughter of like, oh, we don't want any incidents like last year, and then
or they announced today that Gonzo is going to be there. Of Sesame Street fame or Muppets fame, sorry.
The Gonzo?
Yeah, so what is going to happen is Geoff is going to start talking and then Gonzo is going to run up on stage. That's my prediction. Right, I get a bonus point if that happens.
I think
we should have an additional category where we all get to predict one thing that happens, like, one technical hiccup or
Kojima
announcement.
Is in full makeup as Bill Clinton kid.
Okay. That's a wild prediction.
And it's a whole piece. It's like a whole, because he's in movies now, right? So he's going to direct, or he's going to present a 7-minute short film about
Death Stranding 2.
No, about Bill Clinton kid.
Oh, okay.
That's not happening.
No.
Oh,
we do get a Hideo Kojima trailer for a movie, though, I think.
Death Stranding 2 will probably be there. My prediction... Randy Pitchford will stumble out and show the Borderlands movie trailer.
Oh, actually, that's not that far off. I think what could also happen is if he just had his bare asshole shined at all of the audience members.
He leaves a flash drive on stage,
and then he jumps in Knox's car and drives off.
Yeah,
Notch.
Oh, I thought you were saying Knox, like General Knox.
No. He jumps in Notch's car and they drive off into the sunset.
Yeah, with a candy wall.
Mm-hmm.
With their fedoras on.
I think my prediction has more of a shot of coming true.
I want mine more, though.
Yeah, I kind of do, too.
All right, well, we will
it's just
stick around and we'll find out.
The sexiest night in video games.
In terms of Kojima's... love affairs, Geoff Keighley's love affairs. It goes Kojima, Miyazaki, and then the Muppets. So
damn, you're right.
Yeah.
He's got some weird fetishes, man.
Yeah, it's weird.
So tune in next time to hear how we did. We're gonna tally up those results, crown the winner.
Fingers crossed.
Oh, yeah.
I want to be the gamer's gamer.
And the loser. What's the punishment?
Ice bucket challenge. No, I don't know.
And also in the next episode, we're actually going to cover the show itself, their announcement trailers, and speeches and whatnot.
Let's go old school. Tar and feathered.
We could do that.
I was going to say we just force someone to play that Walking Dead game that's coming out.
Oh, force? Yeah, I'm doing that out of pure enjoyment.
Yeah. I did say at some point I made the commitment that I was gonna dig into that. Not just the Lord of the Rings Gollum game, but what's the other one?
Crime Boss Rocket City?
No, King Kong.
No, the King Kong.
Yeah.
No. And so wait, when exactly does this start again? 7:30? 8?
Ooh. Well, I think
is it because there's probably a pre-show too.
There's a pre-show. I don't know when it actually.
Yeah, but
we'll look into this.
They're just gonna record
if you're hearing this, you know more than we.
They're gonna just record a bunch of game company publisher presidents jerking off each other in a fucking dark closet.
Because a lot of times they'll do an awards dump, and
the pre-show is when they'll show best racing game.
Exactly. Yeah. And audio. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you get Best Family out of the way during a call or a smoke break for me, please.
That's gonna be on stage. Wait,
it just says December 7th. Why is it
no, it's gotta have a fucking. That would be crazy.
Add event to calendar. Right. 7:30 to 11.
7:30 to 11.
That's what.
And it's streaming Twitch, YouTube.
Yep.
Whatever.
Yep. It's probably going to be on Steam. I wonder if you can win a Steam Deck OLED this year.
I remember that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do some plugs and call it.
Thank you for listening. Stay tuned for the follow-up to this and our Game of the Year. Those will be on hotbuttoncast.com as well as all the podcast services, and you can follow our socials, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at hotbuttoncast. Thank you for listening.
Sexiest night in video games.
I'm just going to fade out Oscar music right here.
Yeah.